Chapter 186. Tianshui City, a high-class apartment. With a snap, Jiushu's white and tender little hand crushed a titanium alloy drinking cup in her hand. Her eyes revealed anger as she stared at Xia Ping's live broadcast just now. She also saw the previous scene. From the twisted and miserable state of the titanium alloy drinking cup, it could be seen how angry the owner of the cup was. Damn it! Jiushu gritted her teeth. The college entrance examination is approaching, and he took more than a month off, not to cultivate, not to study seriously, but to go to Black Moon City to whore, to gamble. How can there be such a student in the world, too hateful? She was extremely angry. Originally, she thought that this Xia Ping took more than a month off to rush before the exam, to cultivate in seclusion, but this could not be helped. After all, it was to study. Even if so many fans surrounded the door and harassed her, she endured it. But who would have thought that today, she actually saw this bastard's live broadcast, and clearly saw that this guy actually went to Black Moon City to have sex? How absurd. There was nothing more absurd than this. Even if she had been a student for more than 10 years and a teacher for a few years, she had never seen such a thing. A dignified student took a leave of absence from school, not because of illness, not because of family matters, and not to cultivate in seclusion, but to enjoy and go to whore. As a teacher, and also a class teacher, how could she not be angry? If others asked about this, they would think that it was her, Jiushu's, incompetence in education that caused the student to become like this. You'd better stay in Black Moon City and don't come back, otherwise once you come back, I will definitely make you look good. Jiushu gritted her teeth, and she was driven mad by Xia Ping's actions. If this guy was not punished, then the other students in the class would follow suit, and she did not know what kind of bad influence it would bring to the school and the students in the class. At this time, in a luxurious student apartment in Xiulan High School, like a castle, more than a dozen girls also gathered together, including the pearl of Xiulan High School, Nangong Wu. Did you hear? That shameless Xia Ping actually went to Black Moon City to have sex. It is simply shameless to the extreme. As a man, how can he be so low? A girl was indignant, her face flushed red, obviously very angry. This is too disgusting. Men are animals that only know how to think with the lower half of their bodies, no matter how talented they are. As expected, there isn't a single good man in the world. As the champion of the fighting tournament, that's such a lofty reputation, and he even defeated us. Yet, he doesn't know how to cherish it, and even ran off to a dirty place like Black Moon City. Sister Nangong, you must not get close to this shameless man. Otherwise, if you are targeted by him, we will be in trouble. We must list this bastard as one of the suspicious people who are forbidden to get close to Xiulan High School. That's right. It's said that this bastard has had dozens of girlfriends. God knows how many women have been played by him. Some of them are pregnant, and he doesn't want to take responsibility. This kind of person should be dragged out and destroyed. The dozen or so girls clamored, feeling very angry about Xia Ping's trip to Black Moon City. They did not care what Xia Ping's true purpose for going to Black Moon City was. In short, according to this man's personality, he would definitely not do anything good. This is the best. Nangong Wu was also speechless. She had seen how low this guy's level was, but this bastard's bottom line was always getting lower and lower. He was practically trash to the extreme. She felt that she definitely could not meet this bastard again in the future. Otherwise, who knew what would happen? At this time, Chu Rong and Jiang Yaru had also gathered together. They had also heard about this from the internet. The corners of their mouths twitched, and they were completely speechless. At this point, no matter what this guy did, they would not be surprised anymore. Don't care about that bastard. Jiang Yaru clenched her fists, her beautiful eyes revealing a raging fire. In short, in the remaining month, we must quickly increase our strength. We must get into Yanhuang University. That was her goal. Right, I believe that guy also doesn't know that we've joined a powerful martial arts organization. Chu Rong also nodded, with the support of the organization's resources, our improvement will definitely be faster than before. Very soon, we'll be able to catch up to this bastard's martial arts realm. Her beautiful eyes also surged with endless confidence. According to the talent these two had displayed in the Sky Water City fighting competition, the two of them also received invitations from many martial arts organizations. In the end, the two of them chose to join an extremely famous martial arts organization called Cold Moon Palace. This was a super organization second only to the three giants of Yanhuang planet, and it only recruited women. With the support of this martial arts organization's resources, they believed that even in the remaining month, they would still be able to improve at lightning speed, greatly increasing their chances of getting into Yanhuang University. This news was also known by Qin Muyang, Feng Hetang, Lu Yang, and other children of Tianshui City's aristocratic families. After hearing this news, their mouths also twitched. Damn, it's almost the college entrance exam. Instead of studying hard and cultivating in seclusion to increase his cultivation, he actually ran to Black Moon City to play around. What the hell is going on in his head? Being defeated by such a beast in human clothing, I can't accept it at all. Why would the giant company recruit such a bastard? If he can enter the king realm, then who else can't? Damn it, thinking of how I once knelt down and apologized to such a bastard, I can't accept it. This bastard is simply the worst. Who would ask for leave from school and run to Black Moon City to do that kind of thing? Many children of aristocratic families all cursed angrily. Thinking of how they once knelt down and apologized to such a bastard, they all felt ashamed. All of them gritted their teeth and wanted to work hard. They absolutely couldn't let this bastard still be above them, or else they wouldn't have the face to see others for the rest of their lives. Go play, continue to go whoring. Qin Muyang clenched his fists, his eyes revealing a trace of coldness. While you were playing with women and having fun everywhere, I was training hard, improving my martial cultivation, and entering the martial Dao extreme realm. Right now, you are stronger than me, and I, Qin Muyang, am still not as good as you. But in the future, 3 years later, 10 years later, Qin Muyang will definitely far surpass you and advance to the king realm. At that time, I will definitely return the humiliation of that night to you one by one. Remember this. He clenched his teeth, the raging flames of war surging in his heart. Qin Muyang only felt secretly happy towards that bastard's self-abandonment. Taking advantage of that guy's moment of pride and arrogance, he took the opportunity to train and far surpass Xia Ping. Chapter 187. At this time, Xia Ping did not know what was happening in Tianshui City. He put on his mask and quickly moved towards the Black Moon Tower. Soon, he arrived at the entrance of the Black Moon Tower. As soon as he arrived at the entrance, he immediately saw a huge stone sculpture of a 9-headed golden eagle. It was almost 30 meters tall and had 9 heads. Each of its eyes was staring at him. In an instant, a terrifying murderous aura covered Xia Ping's entire body. It was as if the entire world had fallen into endless darkness. It was as if he was in the depths of the universe, isolated and helpless. It was not only Xia Ping who was affected. The surrounding martial artists who entered the Black Moon Tower all felt this aura. Instantly, this group of people turned deathly pale. Some of them even had their legs trembling and collapsed to the ground. Don't look at it. It was a middle-aged man dressed in black. His face was filled with pressure, and he seemed to be a warrior realm expert. This is the sculpture of the king realm monster, the 9-headed golden eagle. It contains the aura of a king realm expert. If you dare to look at it, you will be severely injured in an instant, and your mind will be damaged. Hearing this, everyone avoided the 9-headed golden eagle's eyes. They also felt that the pressure on them had lessened. As expected, if they did not fight it, the aura from its body would not be transmitted to them. It's just a sculpture. Why is it so powerful? Someone asked in confusion. The middle-aged man shook his head. Fear appeared in his eyes. It's not just a sculpture. The eyes on the sculpture are the eyes of a real 9-headed golden eagle. This is a king realm expert. The Black Moon King fought with it for 3 days and 3 nights before he killed it. In order to show off his achievements and intimidate everyone, he merged the 9-headed golden eagle's eyes into the sculpture. Therefore, this sculpture also contains the powerful aura of a king realm monster. Everyone was shocked. Just to show off and intimidate everyone, the Black Moon Tower had actually placed the eyes of a real king realm monster at the entrance. How shocking was this? Just these eyes alone were worth more than 50 billion federal coins. They were priceless. Even if one had the money, they would not be able to buy them. Amazing! Xia Ping sensed the imposing aura of the stone statue as well. When compared to this king realm monster, the gap between him and it was truly too huge. It was simply like the difference between the heavens and the earth. If he really faced a king realm monster, then that monster would probably only need a single breath of time to instantly annihilate him. However, he only sighed. On the road of cultivation, he was only a rookie who had just started. He shook his head and walked towards the Black Moon Tower. As soon as he entered the Black Moon Tower, he immediately saw that the area of the first floor was extremely large. It was practically boundless. Many strong martial artists appeared in this place, going in and out. It was very lively. The room was surrounded by silver-white metallic walls, giving off a sci-fi vibe. However, Xia Ping wasn't interested in looking around. He went straight to the front desk. A female receptionist stood in front of the front desk. She smiled and said to Xia Ping, "Sir, how can I help you?" "I want to register here," Xia Ping said in a deep voice. Gu Peng had already told him most of the things about entering the Black Moon Tower. If he wanted to undergo the trial in the Black Moon Tower, he had to do a simple registration at this place. "Yes, sir." The female receptionist nodded and tapped lightly. With a beep, a virtual page immediately appeared in front of Xia Ping. She then said, "Please fill in your identity information here." Xia Ping glanced at it casually, then randomly filled in some fake information. Anyway, this kind of information wouldn't be verified by the other party. It was just a process. When he filled in the name column, he paused for a moment, then finally wrote the word, Huang. "Okay." When the female receptionist saw that Xia Ping had finished filling in the information, she immediately smiled. "Congratulations, Huang. You have become the 375,638,953 member of the Black Moon Tower. This is your membership card, please keep it." With that, she took out a black card from her body. On it was a black moon. Xia Ping nodded and reached out to take the black card. He knew that if he wanted to move freely in the Black Moon Tower and undergo the trial, he needed this black card. "Oh yes, sir." The female receptionist then said, "May I know which level of trial you would like to choose? Entry level, easy level, or hard level? Our rates are like this. For the trial below the martial warrior realm, the entry level costs 10,000 federal coins, the easy level costs 100,000, the hard level costs 1 million, and the nightmare level costs 10 million federal coins. For the martial master realm trial, no matter the difficulty, it will cost at least 100 million federal coins. For the master realm trial, it will cost 1 billion federal coins." This was clearly robbery. Hearing this, Xia Ping couldn't help but sigh. Just one trial would cost 10,000 federal coins. If it was the nightmare level, it would cost 10 million federal coins. If this wasn't robbery, what was? For the trial above the martial master realm, it was even more terrifying. It could easily cost up to 100 million. If tens of thousands of martial artists came to the Black Moon Tower to participate in the trial, then the money earned every day would be an astronomical figure. Just the money collected would be enough to rival a country. Too expensive. A young man in white could not help but exclaim. This was also his first time coming to the Black Moon Tower. He didn't think that just a simple trial would cost him 10,000 federal coins. One had to know that even if he went to a prostitute and found a beautiful woman, it would only cost 3,000 federal coins a night. If you think it's too expensive, you can choose not to come. The female receptionist looked at the young man with disdain, as if she was looking at a pauper. Damn it! The young man in white's face turned green. He was extremely angry. Shut up! A middle-aged man beside him grabbed his arm and said in a deep voice, "Don't think it's too expensive. There's naturally a reason why it's expensive. There's a reason to rip people off." The young man in white was very unconvinced. The middle-aged man shook his head. "You don't know the mysteries of the Black Moon Tower, so that's why you think so. In reality, even if it's incomparably expensive, countless martial artists come one after another. Do you know why?" "Why?" The man in white did not understand. Xia Ping also blinked and looked at the middle-aged man's answer. "It's very simple." The middle-aged man said in a deep voice, "Because the Black Moon Tower has a top-notch martial arts simulation space. It can simulate countless dangerous environments in the world, simulate all kinds of tyrannical monsters in the world, and simulate all kinds of powerful martial arts experts. Through this space trial, you can fight with the world's top experts. You can fight with the world's most ferocious monsters. You can also experience all kinds of dangerous environments in the world and gain a lot of combat experience." Chapter 188. So that was it. Hearing this, Xia Ping could not help but nod. This Black Moon Tower was not just a tower of trials. For countless warriors, it was a tower of training, an extremely important training ground. After all, it was not so easy to fight with top experts. Even if you challenged them, they would not care. If you went out into the wild and fought with terrifying monsters, one careless move and you would die there, becoming food for the monsters. This was a true battle of life and death. There was no room for carelessness. But in Black Moon Tower, it was different. As long as he spent some money, he could enter the martial path simulation space and obtain the chance to fight with many top-class experts and a large number of monsters. He could gain a lot of fighting experience, and it was very beneficial to his martial cultivation. Furthermore, he would not die. Spending only a few million federal coins was really worth it. Because of this, cultivators from all over the world came to the Black Moon Tower to train. Many cultivators even treated this place as their own training ground. This also caused Black Moon City to be extremely prosperous, with many strong warriors. Don't chat here. Have you decided what level of trial you want to participate in? If you haven't made up your mind, then go to the side. There are other people waiting for you, the female receptionist said impatiently. Xia Ping thought about it and said, "I want to try the nightmare level trial." What? Not only the female receptionist, but even the people who heard this were all dumbfounded, as if they could not believe what Xia Ping said. "Are you serious?" The female receptionist looked at Xia Ping, dumbfounded. The nightmare level trial is a test of life and death. The number of people who passed it in the past hundreds of years can be counted on one hand. In reality, even if it is the easy level, the entry-level trial is enough to make countless genius warriors cry, not to mention the hard level. Only monstrous warriors are qualified to pass it. The others nodded. They were regular customers of Black Moon Tower and naturally knew how terrifying the Black Moon Tower trial was. Just the entry-level trial was enough to stump a large number of warriors. Those who could pass the entry-level trial were genius warriors, enough to be invited by countless martial arts organizations. If they could pass the hard level, it would not be a problem to join the giant company or the three giants of the world. But this kid dared to say he wanted to try the nightmare level. Was he crazy? That's right. It's the nightmare trial, Xia Ping said confidently. Hearing this, the female receptionist hesitantly looked at Xia Ping and said, "The cost of participating in the nightmare trial below the martial warrior realm is 10 million federal coins. It's okay. I don't have anything else, but I have a lot of money. Xia Ping faintly smiled and immediately took out a card. This was the anonymous credit card given to him by the giant company. This credit card was bound to Xia Ping's bank account limit, but it was strictly encrypted. No one could use technical means to crack his true identity and trace his origins. So that's how it is. This kid is rich. Damn, that makes sense. This guy is stupid but rich. Occasionally, there are such rich people who want to try out the nightmare difficulty and see the world, so they go and play. Damn it, why didn't they give it to me if they had that kind of money? They're just giving money to the Black Moon Tower. That's like throwing money down the drain. The group of people looked at Xia Ping with envy, jealousy, and hatred. All of them revealed a look of sudden realization. If the other party was rich and did not care about the cost of the trial, then it was completely understandable. Okay. The female receptionist also revealed a look of sudden realization. She reached out and took Xia Ping's credit card. Since the other party was stupid but had a lot of money, then she had no reason to stop him. With a beep, 10 million federal coins were transferred over. She then said, "Oh right, your nightmare trial is set to be held at 12:00 tomorrow morning. Please arrive on time." Because there were too many martial artists who came here to participate in the trial, everyone needed to make a reservation in advance. As for the nightmare trial, there were not many people who came, so they only needed to wait for one night. As for the other trials, waiting for a few days was very normal. Okay. Xia Ping took the credit card and turned to leave. "Brother, wait." At this time, a figure came from afar. Then, a golden-haired man walked over and greeted Xia Ping enthusiastically. There were also 3 or 4 young men behind him, who seemed to be his followers. When the surrounding people saw these people appear, they all frowned, as if they were very familiar with these people. They all moved away, as if they did not want to come into contact with these people. Hee, this kid has actually been targeted by Frenzied Blade Hee-jun. This kid is out of luck. Someone on the side chuckled, as if he was watching a good show, and did not step forward to stop them. What is it? Xia Ping stopped and looked at the golden-haired man and the others with a puzzled expression. My name is Hee-jun, the golden-haired man introduced himself with a face full of enthusiasm. I'm a swordsman from the G continent. I came to the Black Moon Tower because of its reputation. It is said that there are countless genius martial artists in the Yang continent, and the experts are as numerous as the clouds. Their combat strength is tyrannical, and I wonder how much stronger they are than the other continents. And brother, you actually dare to challenge the nightmare trial. Just this courage alone is incomparable to others. Without a doubt, brother, you must be such a powerful martial artist, so I really want to spar with you and increase my combat experience. I wonder if you can fulfill my invitation. He revealed a face full of desire. You have a good eye. I am indeed a famous genius martial artist in the Yang continent. Everyone in my hometown thinks that I will be a monster in the King realm in the future. Xia Ping had a face full of emotion. I have always kept a low profile and concealed myself deeply, but I didn't expect you to see through me with a glance. It seems that geniuses are geniuses, no matter what, they can't be concealed. He put his hands behind his back, looked up at the sky and sighed, and revealed a lonely look as if he was seeking defeat. Conceal my ass. Hearing this, the corners of the surrounding people's mouths twitched. You are a famous genius martial artist in the Yang continent, a monster in the future. Why can't they see through you? Of the demonic geniuses with such talent, which of them did not keep a low profile or had an arrogant expression, disdaining to converse with ordinary people? True genius cultivators did not need to brag about themselves. Naturally, there would be a group of people who would come up to flatter them. Those who boast about themselves are basically half-baked. It was obvious that this guy was such a person. The golden-haired man didn't expect that after he casually flattered him, this brat would take advantage of it and believe it to be true. He even boasted about himself and was extremely thick-skinned. He looked at this guy like he was looking at a fool. Chapter 189. I didn't expect you to be so famous in your hometown. You're said to be a future king. Looks like you really are a genius. It's my good fortune to meet you. Hee-jun suppressed his disgust and pretended to flatter him. His attitude was very enthusiastic. Since that's the case, why don't we have a match at the Black Moon Towers arena? The wager doesn't need to be too big, just 50 million federal coins will do. He extended 5 fingers with a treacherous expression. Everyone else was shocked. They immediately saw through Hee-jun's evil intentions. An ordinary martial artist's annual income was only 50 to 60 million federal coins. This included eating, drinking, and buying all kinds of pills to assist in cultivation. They even had to buy all kinds of powerful equipment. It would be good if they had 1/5 of that money left. Now, 50 million federal coins was the equivalent of 2 to 3 years of a martial warrior's income. Hee-jun. Before Xiaoping could speak, a blue-haired young man suddenly rushed out with a righteous expression. You're too much. You're trying to trick a newbie again. He's a rookie who has just arrived at the Black Moon Tower. He doesn't have much battle experience, but you actually invited him to participate in an arena duel with you, and even placed a huge bet. You're obviously trying to cheat him of his money. Do you have any shame? He looked angrily at the golden-haired man. Wuzhen, it's you again. You want to ruin my business? Do you want to die? Seeing the blue-haired man appear, Hee-jun's expression turned ugly. He didn't expect this to happen. The blue-haired man sneered. You're the one who wants to die. Don't think I don't know what you're doing here. You often appear near the Black Moon Tower, bullying newbies and looking for fish. Usually, newbies with no experience are tricked by you bastards into fighting in the arena. Not only do they lose, but they also lose a lot of money. It's fine if I didn't see it in the past, but now that I've seen it, I won't allow you to trick newbies. Everyone nodded. This was the treachery of the golden-haired man. Because fighting was forbidden near the Black Moon Tower, there was a strict order. Whoever dared to fight would offend the Black Moon King. However, some people didn't dare to bully him in the open, but they could still do it in the dark. Some of the newcomers who had just arrived at the Black Moon Tower did not know how strong they were. They thought that since everyone was an expert of the same realm, even if there was a slight difference, it would not be too big. Thus, they were hopeful that they would not lose and would be able to defeat these veterans. What they did not know was that the warriors who had been trained in the Black Moon Tower were much stronger than the warriors who had not been trained before. Just their battle experience was not something that those rookies could compare to. Once in the ring, the rookies could only admit defeat. Some were even beaten to the point of kneeling and begging for mercy. How is this cheating? The golden-haired man, Hee-jun, sneered, this brother and I are both experts in the first heaven of the martial artist realm. Our realms are the same. No matter how we fight, we won't let this brother suffer. Besides, the bet is only 50 million federal coins. Any random martial arts organization would have a yearly salary of more than that. Aren't you being a bit nosy? He looked at Wuzhen with contempt. You. Wuzhen was infuriated. He also knew that 50 million federal coins was not a lot to a martial artist, but it was not a small amount either. They could easily take it out with a bit of effort. Because of this, Hee-jun's scams had succeeded time and time again. Some of the victims were even too embarrassed to speak up, causing Hee-jun and the others to become more and more arrogant. That's right. At this time, Xiaoping also stood up. It's only 50 million federal coins. This is a small amount of money. I don't care about it at all. You are indeed a bit nosy. He said to the blue-haired man, Wuzhen. What? Hearing this, the blue-haired man, Wuzhen, was stunned. He was trying to persuade this kid out of goodwill so that this bastard would not be fooled, but this bastard said that he was being nosy. This was the first time he had heard of such a thing. Yes, I am being nosy. Xia Ping said disdainfully, we are both martial artists at the first level of the martial artist realm. You said that he was taking advantage of me by fighting me, which means that he thinks that I am no match for this brother. You are clearly looking down on me. How can I tolerate this? I am not bragging, but in my hometown, I can fight 10 experts of the same level. No one is a match for me. This brother is giving me money by fighting me. I am taking advantage of him, but you actually came to stop me, blocking my path to wealth. If this is not nosy, then what is nosy? He stretched out 10 fingers. This. Wu Zhen was dumbfounded and did not know what to say. The blonde man, He Jun, was also a little confused. This was the first time he had seen a victim so protective of him. How many years had it been? He had not felt such warmth. This was a good person, just a little stupid. However, it was impossible for him to stop swindling people. There was no other reason other than the lack of money. Bragging, this kid continues to brag. He can fight 10 experts of the same level. Why can't he go to heaven? I was kind enough to dissuade him from being deceived, but he actually scolded me for being nosy. This is too hateful. He deserves to be deceived. Is there any justice in this world if this kind of person is not deceived? In the past, I did not know why people were so easily deceived, but after seeing this brother's IQ, I know why there are so many swindlers in the world. There are too many fools, and there are not enough swindlers. Looking at this young man, I, a person who graduated from primary school, suddenly feel superior in terms of IQ. A typical example of helping a swindler count the money after being deceived. The surrounding people were talking about it. Everyone looked at Xia Ping as if they were looking at a fool. They could not imagine how there could be such a stupid person in the world. However, low IQ was a terminal illness that could not be cured. The blonde man, He Jun, was immediately overjoyed. Meeting such a rich fool was definitely their luck today. Was there anyone more adorable than this kind of person in the world? If he did not swindle all the money he had, he would be letting down this great opportunity that God had given him. Brother, this matter should not be delayed. Why don't we start a gambling battle? He Jun immediately said. He wanted to sign a contract with Xia Ping, lest this kid suddenly come to his senses. If that happened, the cooked duck would fly away. A gambling battle is fine. Xia Ping nodded. But 50 million federal coins is too little. It's only the price of my usual meal. It's not satisfying. If you want to bet, let's bet big. 400 million federal coins, what do you think? Chapter 190. 400 million. Not only He Jun, but everyone else was stunned as well. Even if a martial warrior wanted to earn 400 million, it would take them 6 to 7 years to do so. Furthermore, they would not need to eat or drink and could not spend any money. It could be said that this was a huge sum of money. If it was not for the fact that both parties had a death grudge and wanted to make the other party bankrupt, or if it was a fight between martial masters and above, they would not take out such a large sum of money. To take out 400 million as a wager for an ordinary match was simply unheard of. 400 million. He Jun squinted his eyes and stared at Xia Ping. His eyes were deep, making it impossible to tell what he was thinking. Even the 3 or 4 followers behind him were extremely shocked, as if they could not believe that Xia Ping would propose such a wager. The blue-haired Wu Zhen's eyes also flickered, as if he was very surprised by Xia Ping's actions. It was a little confusing. If this kid was stupid, why was he so daring? Betting 400 million in one go, was he not afraid of losing? That's right, 400 million. Xia Ping said with a smile. If you want to bet, bet big. What's the point of betting small? Of course, if you don't dare to, then forget it and pretend that this never happened. Who doesn't dare to bet? Hearing this, He Jun laughed coldly. Isn't it just 400 million? It's nothing. I'll bet with you. His tone was very firm, and it was obvious that he was serious. Hee-jun. The four people behind him were shocked. They looked at Hee-jun as if they wanted to stop him. After all, this amount was too large. If he lost, the consequences would be unimaginable. Hee-jun waved his hand and said confidently, "Don't worry, I won't lose." Hearing this, the four young people could not help but relax. Indeed, with Hee-jun's strength, after training at the Black Moon Tower for several months, he was no longer a match for cultivators of the same level. Against a rookie who had just arrived at the Black Moon Tower, this was a piece of cake. At this point, he took out his phone and tapped it lightly. A virtual projection of a male appeared. With a clap, he tapped it lightly and the virtual projection appeared in front of Xiaoping. "This is a letter of challenge from me, Hee-jun smiled. "If we accept this challenge, we can use the arena at the Black Moon Tower to fight. Furthermore, each person will need to transfer 400 million into the Black Moon Tower's account. It will act as the middleman, and the money will be transferred to whoever wins. This way, it will be absolutely fair and no one can deny it." Within the Black Moon Tower, challenges between martial artists were extremely common. It had long formed a series of mature procedures. "It's nothing." Xiaoping nodded and immediately signed the contract. At the same time, he used his credit card to transfer 400 million to the Black Moon Tower's account, and the contract was established. "Very good." Hee-jun also transferred the money over, and a smile appeared on his face. "The duel will be at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, on the dueling platform on the second floor of the Black Moon Tower. I will be waiting for you then." He also wanted the duel to start immediately, but there were just too many martial artists in the Black Moon Tower. Almost every day, there would be martial artists dueling. If one wanted to use this arena, they would have to queue up. It was impossible to start immediately. After that, he turned around and left with a few of his men. Too impulsive. Wu Zhen shook his head and sighed. He was very speechless. His efforts were all wasted. The bet had already been signed, and no one could deny it. It could be said that this kid's loss of 400 million was certain. There was no doubt about it. But it was too late to say anything now. Even if he wanted to go back now, it was impossible. Earning 400 million in one go, this feeling is very good. It seems that this Black Moon City is my treasure land. Xiaoping smiled as he watched Hee-jun and the others leave. He was in a very good mood. The other party wanted to cheat his money, so how could he not want to cheat the other party's money? This Hee-jun thought that after training in the Black Moon Tower for a few months, his combat power was far superior to his peers, but that was only for ordinary martial artists. This did not include him, Xiaoping. Xiaoping, who cultivated the Northern Dark Body Protection Art, the Pure Yang Immortal Art, and even the 10,000 Beasts Fist, was strong enough to rival the second heaven of the martial disciple realm. What was a mere Hee-jun? Since he wanted to give him money, why should he refuse? And the nightmare trial would only start tomorrow. After dealing with this guy, it would not be too late to slowly explore the mysteries of the Black Moon Tower. Thinking of this, Xiaoping left the Black Moon Tower and found a nearby hotel to rest. At this time, Hee-jun and the others also left the Black Moon Tower. "Boss, isn't it a bit too rash to duel with that kid like this?" After leaving the Black Moon Tower, a young man said hesitantly, "This kid dared to agree to your duel so arrogantly, and even increased the amount to 400 million federal coins. I think it's unusual. Maybe this guy is pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger." He was very cautious. After all, no one in this world was a fool. Even if they thought that the other party might be a fish in the water at first, but when the bet reached a certain height, they did not think so. "What are you afraid of?" Hee-jun sneered, "He wants to plot against me, when I don't want to plot against him. Why do you think I dare to agree to this bet? There is no other reason than that I have absolute strength. I can cut that kid into meat sauce with one knife." Boom! As soon as his voice fell, a terrifying knife aura erupted from his body, and a terrifying crack suddenly appeared on the cement floor. The knife intent soared into the sky, causing several of his subordinates to shiver as if there was a blade on their backs. No way, boss, you actually advanced to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm. When did this happen? Several of his subordinates were shocked and looked at their boss in disbelief. They knew that after advancing to the martial warrior realm, it was very difficult to clear an acupoint and advance to the first heaven. During this process, a large number of heavenly treasures were required. Some people might not even be able to clear an acupoint even after spending 10 years. But their boss actually advanced to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm without a sound. This was simply incredible. Ha! I advanced to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm 4 or 5 days ago. Hee-jun clenched his fists, but I kept a low profile and did not say anything. My purpose was to amaze the world with a brilliant feat and cheat a sum of money. I did not expect this sucker to come to me personally, so I can't be blamed. But I was able to advance so quickly thanks to the trial in the Black Moon Tower. If I did not fight with so many strong people, absorb the battle experience between life and death, and comprehend the martial way, I would not have advanced so quickly. Sure enough, leaving my hometown and coming to Black Moon City was the right choice. If I stayed in my hometown, I estimated that even after spending 10 years, I would still be at the first heaven of the martial warrior realm. He clenched his fists, feeling extremely emotional. Of course, he was able to advance to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm so quickly because of the help of a benefactor. Just relying on the trial in the Black Moon Tower was far from enough for him to advance so quickly. Great, in this way, it will be hard for that kid not to lose. We can earn another 400 million federal coins. Now, boss's advancement to the third heaven of the martial warrior realm is just around the corner. This kid is simply the boy who gives money away. Chapter 191. The next morning, Xia Ping woke up in the hotel room. He sat cross-legged on the white bed, slowly opened his eyes, and exhaled. After a night of meditation and cultivation, he felt that the true qi in his body had grown a little stronger, and the strength of his body had grown a little stronger. He was getting stronger every second. The speed of improvement is still too slow. Xia Ping clenched his fists. The martial warrior realm had 9 layers, and each layer was extremely powerful. If he wanted to advance to the next layer, he had to open up an acupoint, so that he could contain more qi and become more powerful. But to open up an acupoint was too difficult. Without pills, without the help of all kinds of treasures, even a genius would have to spend several years to strengthen the qi in his body, open up an acupoint, and advance to the next layer. This battle is an opportunity. Xia Ping's eyes flashed. If I win this time, I will get 400 million. With this money, I can buy all kinds of precious pills to assist in cultivation. He also knew that pills that could assist in the cultivation of the martial warrior realm were very precious and expensive, but no matter how expensive they were, 400 million federal coins was enough for him to squander for a period of time. Whoosh! Thinking of this, Xia Ping immediately got up and went to the Black Moon Tower, because the time for the duel was almost up. And the matter of Xia Ping and Hee-jun had also spread like wildfire. Although there were duels between martial artists of the Black Moon Tower every day, a wager involving 400 million was extremely rare, and could be considered a major event. Did you hear? A rookie who just came to the Black Moon Tower actually went against Frenzied Blade Hee-jun and bet 400 million. Frenzied Blade Hee-jun. Isn't that kid a bastard who specializes in bullying rookies? Which unlucky guy was targeted and foolishly bet 400 million? This time it's going to cost him a lot. I heard that the kid's name is Huang. He's stupid but has a lot of money. Just to test the nightmare level trial, he lost 10 million federal coins without even frowning. Damn it, why didn't I meet such a sucker? Hee-jun has made a lot of money this time. That's right, 400 million. How long would it take for us to earn that much, but he got it in just one duel. Let's go and watch the show. Maybe we can find a chance to extort that sucker and make a fortune. Many cultivators were discussing this duel spiritedly. They were all very interested in this duel, and all of them rushed over to watch the excitement. Some of them even harbored evil intentions. They took a fancy to Huang's low intelligence and wanted to find an opportunity to extort a sum of money from him. At this time, Xia Ping, under the guidance of the staff of the Black Moon Tower, came to a room on the second floor of the Black Moon Tower. This was a vast training hall, about the size of a football field. It was incomparably spacious, with nothing in it. He Jun was the only one standing on the other side. This is the dueling platform. Xia Ping looked around suspiciously. This dueling platform was very different from what he had imagined. There were no spectator seats, nor was there an arena. It was just an empty room. That's right, this is the dueling platform. He Jun smiled but didn't explain. He only asked, do you like plains, valleys, or mountain peaks? Just pick one. I like the plains, Xia Ping replied casually. He Jun nodded and said, choose. The battlefield is the plains. Boom! As soon as he finished speaking, the entire training hall underwent a huge change. The space distorted, and in an instant, the surroundings turned into a grassland. The grass on the ground was lush and green, reaching knee-high. A breeze blew from afar, carrying with it the fresh smell of soil. There were even a few cows and sheep quietly eating grass in the corner, as if they were on a grassland. This. Xia Ping's eyes flashed. He was very surprised. In just an instant, the training hall had turned into a grassland. This change was really incredible. Moreover, he could feel that the grass, the cows and sheep, and the black soil on the ground were extremely real. He couldn't feel any difference from reality at all. Amazing, right? This is the martial arts simulation space of the Black Moon Tower. He Jun said proudly, as long as you want any environment, it can convert energy and immediately simulate it. Moreover, the degree of realism is close to 99%, no different from reality. This kind of top-notch technology is currently impossible on the Yanhuang star. Even if we analyze it, we can't analyze it. Only the technology of the ancient ruins can create such a miracle. His tone was very emotional. Hearing this, Xia Ping was very shocked. These real scenes were just simulated by a mass of energy. How on earth was this done? It was really incredible. It was no wonder that the current technology of the Yanhuang star couldn't create it. This kind of power was close to that of a god and extremely mysterious. A miracle is indeed a miracle, but this kind of thing has nothing to do with our duel today. He Jun stared at Xia Ping, staring at him. I will defeat you as soon as possible and get 400 million federal coins. But don't worry, I will try to be gentle so that you don't feel too much pain. Defeat me as soon as possible. Hearing this, Xia Ping suddenly laughed. Before, you admired me and wanted to duel with me to absorb some combat experience. Now you've revealed your true colors. You want to defeat me? Sure enough, you are not a fool. The fact that you dare to propose a bet of 400 million is enough to prove that you are strong and confident in yourself. Otherwise, how would you dare to make such a request? He Jun took out a black broadsword from his body, and his whole body exuded a terrifying saber aura. He was like a fierce beast with red eyes that made people shudder. But how do you know how strong I, He Jun, am? Staying in the Black Moon Tower for a few months is equivalent to cultivating for several years in the outside world. The experience gained from here is far from what the outside martial artists can compare. Maybe in your hometown, you are indeed a little capable and talented, but here in the Black Moon Tower, you are just a rookie and not qualified at all. But it doesn't matter. Today, I will teach you that the huge difference between a true combat elite and a rookie is not a gap that can be made up for by bragging. His tone was extremely arrogant, and he did not take Xia Ping seriously at all, as if he was looking at an ant. As soon as his voice fell, there was a bang. The surrounding space immediately sounded with a mechanical voice, resounding through the surrounding space. Duel, begin. Boom! In an instant, Hee-jun's body suddenly moved. In an instant, he crossed more than 10 meters, ignoring the space around him. He held a broadsword in his hand, and his whole person was like a humanoid beast. His black blade cut through the air, containing a terrible saber aura. It tore through the air and made a buzzing sound. The air also produced a trace of ripple, and the ripple spread in all directions. Chapter 192. Rumble. When Hee-jun's blade came slashing down, it immediately set off a gust of wind. True Qi was released, forming a terrifying storm. Every stream of air was like a blade, with extremely terrifying lethality. Once swept by this extremely terrifying gust of wind, one's body would immediately be torn apart and turned into meat paste. This scene was also recorded by the dueling room's high-definition cameras and transmitted in all directions. Anyone who was paying attention to this duel could see it on the big screen of the Black Moon Tower. It could even be transmitted to the internet, so that those who were paying attention to the duel could see it. Amazing! As expected of the wild blade Hee-jun, this wild wind blade technique has already been cultivated to the realm of perfection. With one slash, it will form hundreds of wind blades. No warrior can take it head-on, or else they will die without a burial. That kid is finished. He won't be able to take even one slash. Many of the spectators were discussing, shaking their heads and sighing. They thought that the kid would lose for sure. Facing such a powerful blade technique, this rookie had no chance of winning. He actually ran to a duel. In the distance, on a spaceship in the Black Moon City airport, Gu Peng was also watching the duel through the surveillance video. He was speechless. Although on the surface he did not interfere with Xia Ping's trial, in reality, he was always paying attention. He wanted to see what ability this young man who was favored by his master had. But how could he have imagined that once this kid entered the Black Moon Tower, he would start to stir up trouble? He actually went to a duel with someone, betting 400 million, and made it known to everyone. Fine, let me see what you're capable of. Gu Peng stared at the screen, watching the duel. And at the moment when Hee-jun made his move, Xia Ping also made his move. He took a step forward and punched out. In an instant, he used the profound meaning of the 5 forms fist, 5 forms as one. This punch was like a shark rushing out of the calm sea, emitting the aura of a one-hit kill. True Qi gathered and wrapped around the fist, emitting a white light that contained tyrannical power. Leopard fist, tiger fist, crane fist, snake fist, and dragon fist. The pinnacle of the 5 fist technique's profound meanings merged together. Countless kinds of forces merged and then exploded in an instant. This kind of power was like a volcanic explosion. Bang! In just an instant, the fist blasted out, exploding the air. Hee-jun's blade chi storm was crushed inch by inch, destroyed, and passed through the air. What? Hee-jun was shocked. How could he have imagined that this kid's fist technique would be so terrifying? It had already reached the pinnacle of perfection, and the profound meaning of the 5 forms fist was displayed to the fullest. The fist energy was terrifying. With a boom, this force crashed onto the tip of his black saber, producing a tidal wave of force that sent him flying. He retreated more than 10 steps, and even the webbing between his thumb and forefinger was numb. Hee-jun, as if he could not believe that this kid had such strength. The difference between an elite and a rookie? You dare say that I'm not qualified and want to teach me a lesson? Is this how you treat me? It seems like you're only a so-so. Xia Ping looked at Hee-jun indifferently and said, "You're good at talking big, but when it comes to fighting, you don't have any ability." June, of June, of. Don't be too arrogant in the future. Hearing these words, Hee-jun was so angry that his nose was crooked. His lungs felt like they were about to explode, and his face was flushed red. It was as if he had been slapped a dozen times in public, and he felt intense pain. A rookie who just came to the Black Moon Tower, who had just advanced to the first heaven of the martial warrior realm, actually dared to teach him not to be too arrogant. Who is the real arrogant one? This bastard is too arrogant. Huang! He Jun roared, I was just testing my strength. I was careless and let you win by one move. How dare you be so arrogant and look down on me? You really don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. I'll let you know who is the real strong one. Boom! As soon as he finished speaking, an even more terrifying aura surged from his body. It was at least twice as tyrannical as before. As he released his genuine chi, cracks appeared on the ground. Kacha! 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 A gale surged, and dust billowed. No way, the second heaven of the martial warrior realm. He Jun has advanced to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm. This kid is dead. He has advanced to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm and opened the second acupoint. His genuine chi is more than twice as strong. Whether it is strength, speed or genuine chi, He Jun is superior to this kid. It would be strange if he didn't win. He Jun is pretending to be weak. I didn't expect him to hide his strength so deeply. He has advanced to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm. It's really amazing. No wonder He Jun dared to agree to the 400 million challenge. With such strength, how could he lose? It's also this kid's fault for being too arrogant. He thinks he has some ability, so he considers everyone beneath his notice. He doesn't know that the Black Moon Tower is a place where there are many hidden dragons and crouching tigers. Any one of them is a genius. How can a country bumpkin's son compare to him? Losing 400 million can be considered a lesson for him. I guess he won't dare to be so arrogant in the future. Seeing this scene, many of the audience were in an uproar. They didn't expect He Jun to have the strength of the second heaven of the martial warrior realm. His combat power was suddenly doubled. If there was a little gap between He Jun and Xia Ping before, then it was completely crushing now. It was not a joke that the second heaven of the martial warrior realm was stronger than the first heaven. Whether it was strength, speed or the strength of genuine chi, the second heaven of the martial warrior realm was above the first heaven. Huang! He Jun sneered, you dare to tell me that there is always someone better than you? You are the one who should understand this truth the most. A little rookie dares to be so arrogant. He simply doesn't know his place. I am an expert of the second heaven of the martial warrior realm. Do you know that the second heaven of the martial warrior realm? With 2 acupoints opened, my genuine chi is twice as strong. I can fight 10 rookies like you. I was low-key just now because I wanted to give you face. That's why I didn't kill you. But you don't want to give me face. You can't blame me for this. Whoosh! As soon as his voice fell, He Jun immediately moved. He waved the black broadsword on his body with a terrifying momentum like a mountain. The second move of the Gale Saber technique, Sandstorm Wind Transition. This move was more than several times more powerful than the first move. This was the real storm. Hundreds of saber chi condensed and rotated crazily, forming a storm. At the same time, this gale carried the endless sand on the ground, blowing up the grass and soil. Every grain of sand moved extremely quickly under the powerful whirlwind, and it was like a bullet. Once it was hit, it would immediately leave a bloody hole in it. This was the real killer move of the Gale Saber technique. Chapter 193. Amazing. This frenzied blade He Jun is incredible. It seems that he has already grasped the true essence of the Gale blade technique. Even if he goes out into the wilderness, he can still survive and kill countless monsters. In time, it might not be impossible for him to become a blade grandmaster. A member of the audience had a solemn expression as he stared at He Jun's blade technique. He is indeed amazing. Although this He Jun is despicable and often extorts rookies, I have to say that he is indeed a genius in blade techniques. He cannot be underestimated. One slash and hundreds of blade energies formed a gale. It is impossible to grasp such a blade technique without at least 10 years. This young man called Huang is really unlucky. He actually met He-jun. I guess he will have a painful memory this time. Not to mention Huang, even if it was another expert in the second sky of the martial artist realm, not many would be able to defeat He-jun, many members of the audience were discussing among themselves. They were all shocked by the gale blade technique that He-jun used. This already had a trace of the essence of a blade master. In time, it would be quite incredible. This He-jun is not simple. When Gu Peng saw this scene, he could not help but secretly nod his head. He had to admit that this He-jun had some talent. However, he still paid attention to Xia Ping. He wanted to know what ability this kid had. To be chosen by his master and invited to join the giant company, it was not as simple as it looked. Go and die. He-jun shouted angrily. When his aura rose to the peak, he slashed out with his blade. Countless blade energies completely enveloped Xia Ping's body, leaving him nowhere to escape. Not bad blade technique, but that's all. Seeing the other party's blade technique coming towards him, Xia Ping was unmoved. He took a step forward and his aura was several times more terrifying than before. Previously, he was just a sleeping tiger, but now he had woken up. When he took a step forward, the heavens and earth shook. It was as if an ancient ferocious beast had come out of its cave, emitting an overwhelming aura. Even though he had not made a move, the entire world seemed to have quietened down. Xia Ping hugged his hammer with both hands and transformed into an invincible violent ape. He roared on the mountain peak, shaking the forest and causing the earth to tremble. A strong wave of true qi rose from his body and circulated through his meridians. It gathered in his hands and transformed into a huge ball. When it condensed, it was extremely tyrannical and emitted an aura of invincibility. Myriad Beast Fist First Style, Violent Ape Hammer. Boom! It was at this moment that Xia Ping made his move. He was like a ferocious ape as he descended from the sky with incomparable speed and exceptional ferocity. The air exploded and the forest trembled. This violent wave of true energy smashed out like a violent hammer, sweeping away everything in its path. Bang bang bang. In the blink of an eye, the air exploded. Countless saber cheese and boundless gales were smashed by this hammer. It was as if a huge boulder had been smashed into powder. No matter what it was unable to withstand this hammer. Everything was crushed into dust, and even the air was torn apart. This was how tyrannical this power was. What? Impossible. He-jun was taken aback and his eyes were filled with horror. He had used the strength of the second heaven of the martial artist realm and the killing move of the Gale Saber technique. He believed that there were only a handful of experts in the same realm who could defeat him. However, in the face of this young man's fist, his heart actually surged with the feeling of looking up at a high mountain, as if the other party was an unsurpassable mountain. Rumble in an instant, the true energy giant hammer fell from the sky and smashed down fiercely like a meteor. With a destructive aura, it hit He-jun's body. Ah! He-jun was caught off guard and screamed. His whole body was smashed to the ground like a piece of rag. The black long saber in his hand was smashed into a piece of scrap iron in an instant. Bang bang bang. Immediately, a huge deep pit with a diameter of 2 to 3 meters appeared on the ground. Soil splashed everywhere. He-jun's whole body was lying in the deep pit with 7 or 8 ribs in his chest broken. With a puff, he could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. His face was pale and his breathing was weak. How is this possible? I am an expert in the second heaven of the martial artist realm. I have opened 2 acupoints and can kill people from 10 meters away. I can deal with 100 ordinary martial disciples. I am tyrannical and unparalleled, but now I am actually not his match. This is ridiculous. He-jun was horrified and his heart had collapsed. He could not believe that such a thing had happened. Just this punch had beaten him, an expert in the second heaven of the martial artist realm, into such a state. Even his black long saber had been smashed into scraps. What kind of terrible power was this? What kind of amazing fist technique was this? What kind of fist technique is this? Gu Peng, who was sitting calmly in his seat, suddenly stood up. He did not even care that the cup of steaming coffee next to him was knocked over and spilled. He stared at the screen. The punch just now was exquisite to the extreme. He used the true energy in his body to the peak. He seemed to see the birth of a mountain-violent ape, wreaking havoc in the world, exuding a terrifying power that could suppress all beasts. This was not Five Forms fist, nor was it any other beast fist. He had never seen or heard of it, but it was the essence of the Great Way. It must be a martial arts technique above the king level. If Five Forms fist was the peak technique of the use of muscles, bones, and body, then this fist technique was the supreme technique of the use of the true energy in the body to the extreme. Where did this kid learn this from? Gu Peng was a little surprised, but he quickly calmed down. He was not too surprised. All geniuses had their own fortuitous encounters. Even when he was young, he had one fortuitous encounter after another. Perhaps he accidentally entered some ancient ruins, or got some guidance from a powerful martial artist, or picked up a secret book and so on. If he was a martial artist of other forces, he might be greedy, but he was a member of the giant company. In the giant company, there were no treasures that couldn't be obtained, no martial arts secret books that couldn't be exchanged, and even those that were comparable to this exquisite fist technique were not few. This was the heritage of the giant company, the three giants of Yanhuang Star. Interesting, it is not difficult for this kid to pass this trial. It seems that I will have another colleague. Gu Peng smiled slightly, looked at the screen, and continued to watch the end of the match. At this time, Xia Ping came in front of He Jun, looked down, and said indifferently, "Do you admit defeat?" "Admit defeat? I am a master in the second heaven of the martial artist realm. Why would I admit defeat to a rookie like you? Even if it was a joke, there should be a limit." He Jun's face was ferocious, and he roared. With a bang, he struggled, jumped up, clenched his fist, and punched out. True chi vibrated, and he tried to fight back. Even if he didn't have a long saber, he still had his fists, and he would not lose to anyone. Xia Ping did not look at He Jun and slammed his palm. Like a black bear roaring, it fiercely bombarded on He Jun's fist. With a few cracking sounds, his fist immediately shattered. Ah! He Jun screamed and flew out like a straw, rubbing across the ground for dozens of meters. He couldn't help but cough up blood, and more than a dozen bones in his body were broken. "If you don't admit defeat, then go to hell." Xia Ping rushed up, jumped into the air, and stepped on He Jun's head, like a wild elephant trampling, full of explosive power. With such a foot, even an iron ball would be trampled into pieces, leaving nothing behind. Shameless! Seeing this scene, He Jun was so scared that his face turned green. There is no doubt that being trampled by this foot, his head would probably be crushed into pieces, but didn't this bastard see that he was seriously injured and almost couldn't move? How could he be so ruthless? Damn, this is too cruel, this kid is not human at all. I admit defeat, I admit defeat. Chapter 194. Boom! The instant He Jun shouted out his surrender, the entire grassland trembled. Energy distorted, and Xia Ping immediately felt a gentle energy surround him, causing him to be unable to move a single step. In just an instant, the grassland disappeared and was restored to its original appearance, revealing a vast training hall. The original pit also disappeared and turned into a cement floor. The two separated. With a bang, He Jun lay quietly on the cement floor, his eyes showing a trace of joy after surviving a disaster. Lying beside his hand was a piece of black scrap iron, obviously the long saber he originally carried. He Jun admits defeat, Huang automatically wins the match. At this time, a mechanical voice sounded around the training hall. Beep! The moment the result of the match was announced, Xiaoping also received the transfer of 400 million federal coins from the Black Moon Tower's account. The efficiency was extremely high, and He Jun naturally lost 400 million. No way, He Jun actually lost. A master at the second heaven of the martial artist realm is actually not this kid's match? Not only is he not a match, he simply has no power to fight back. With just one move, He Jun was beaten like a dead dog, and even that long saber was turned into scrap iron. This kind of power is simply terrifying. It is indeed too terrifying. Is this really a master at the first heaven of the martial artist realm? What is going on with this kind of power? The punch is like the birth of a violent ape. The force is incomparably domineering, destroying everything. It is not something that ordinary people can resist. This kind of martial arts has already reached the realm of perfection. It is impossible to use unless one is a grandmaster. This kid was not lying before. He is definitely a monstrous martial artist who can suppress the current world. I didn't expect that He Jun is also considered a veteran. He can be called a wily old fox, and now he still failed miserably. This kid is definitely pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger. Damn it, why is this brat so cunning? We were all fooled by him. Can't we see it at all? We thought he was a fool, but we didn't expect this kid to secretly laugh at us for being stupid. We have to be wary of this bastard. He might be an unparalleled demon king, a fierce dragon crossing the river. Seeing that He Jun was defeated by a single punch, many of the spectators were dumbfounded and shocked. They had thought that He Jun would definitely lose and be killed by a single slash. But who could have thought that the situation would take a sudden turn for the worse? With just a single punch, He Jun was sent flying like a dead dog, unable to retaliate at all. This was an overwhelming display of power. Even though these Black Moon Tower martial artists were all experienced and knowledgeable, they had never seen such a powerful martial artist. Some people also remembered how they had mocked this kid before, saying that he was a fool with a lot of money, a rookie who had just arrived at the Black Moon Tower, a big fat sheep who was specially delivering money to He Jun. But now, the other party had displayed invincible strength and easily defeated He Jun, winning 400 million federal coins. It was unknown who was the real fool here. When they thought of this, their faces immediately turned red. They wanted nothing more than to dig a hole and bury their heads in it. They were extremely ashamed. At this time, in the dueling hall, Xia Ping looked at He Jun, who was struggling to stand up, and raised his eyebrows. He actually chose to admit defeat? You're too spineless. Why don't you fight back? Didn't you say you wanted to teach me a lesson? Fight back my ass. He Jun's nose was crooked from anger. He was extremely sullen. He wanted to fight back, but he had been half crippled with a single punch. More than a dozen of his ribs were broken, and he was seriously injured. How could he fight back? This bastard said it so easily. When he thought of how he had lost the match and lost 400 million, his heart ached. If he had known that this bastard was so terrifying, he definitely would not have fought with this guy. But it was too late to say anything now. This is your win, but don't be too happy. Sooner or later, I will win back. He Jun clenched his teeth and glared fiercely at Xia Ping, unwilling to show weakness. He was extremely unwilling. Not convinced? Xia Ping glanced at him. Do you want to fight again? This time, we'll bet 800 million. This bastard. He Jun was half dead from anger. He was so angry that he could not speak. The difference in strength between them was too great. He did not win by a hair's breadth, but he had an absolute advantage. If they fought again, he was sure that he would still lose. This bastard clearly wanted to cheat him of his money. Did he really think that He Jun, was a fool, a fat sheep? This was too despicable. He clenched his teeth and did not want to talk to this bastard anymore. He turned around and left the duel hall. He walked with a limp, looking very embarrassed. Xia Ping also left. In a few minutes, the two of them arrived at the first floor of the Black Moon Tower. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Instantly, the eyes of the martial artists present were focused on the two of them, especially Xia Ping. This guy had just displayed a strong martial strength, he was definitely a strong opponent. He Jun. Suddenly, a group of people immediately came from the crowd in the distance. The leader was a young man who was 185 meters tall. He wore white clothes, but in the middle of the clothes was a huge pattern of a bloody palm print. His whole body emitted a bloody aura, as if there were many ghosts lingering around him. Seeing this, everyone revealed a look of fear. They all made way for this group of people to pass, not daring to stop them. This group of people was also used to being tyrannical. Seeing this young man appear, He Jun was immediately stunned. His eyes revealed a look of horror, and his whole body was trembling. He did not expect to see this young man in this place. Young Master Lu. He Jun trembled as he looked at this young man, a little at a loss. With a slap, the young man suddenly slapped He Jun's face. Like lightning, the slap landed on He Jun's face and sent him flying. Even two of his front teeth flew out, and a red palm print quickly appeared. He Jun flew a few meters and fell to the ground. It was extremely painful, but he did not dare to cry out. He endured it and crawled back. He Jun. The young man said coldly. His eyes were like a venomous snake. You disappoint me too much. I gave you the elixir and allowed you to advance to the second heaven of the martial artist realm. Was it to let you lose to others here? Was it to let you embarrass yourself here? His voice was as cold as the wind and snow, making people could not help but shiver. I am sorry, young Master Lu, I have embarrassed you. He Jun knelt on the ground, like a dog. His whole body trembled, and he did not even dare to raise his head. He lowered his voice. The reason why he could open the second acupoint so quickly was not only because of the training in the Black Moon Tower, but also because the young man in front of him gave him a precious elixir. With this elixir, the true qi in his body increased greatly, and he took advantage of this opportunity to break through to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm. Chapter 195. Who is this young man? Seeing this situation, someone in the crowd felt extremely curious and asked, why is this He Jun so submissive? Even if he is beaten and humiliated in public, he does not dare to resist. One had to know that He Jun was after all an expert of the second heaven of the martial artist realm. In any martial arts organization, he would be considered an elite. His treatment was extremely high, his annual income was over 10 million, and his status was respected. But now, he was being treated like a dog. How shocking was this? Who dares to resist? Do you want to die? Someone at the side immediately whispered, this young man is not an ordinary person. He is Lu Lai, the son of the leader of the Black Moon City Blood Hand Organization. In Black Moon City, his words carry enormous weight. At the same time, he is also a martial arts genius. He is only 26 years old and is already a second heaven of the martial artist realm. Furthermore, he is vicious and merciless, and will seek revenge for the smallest grievance. His brutality is famous in Black Moon City. Those who dare to offend him will not see the sun of the next day. Blood Hand Organization. Hearing this word, the surrounding people could not help but shiver. Anyone who had mingled in Black Moon City for a period of time knew the name of the Blood Hand Organization. This organization was one of the top underworld organizations in Black Moon City. The leader of the organization, Lu Gang, was an expert of the ninth heaven of the martial artist realm. His strength was tyrannical and his true qi was incomparably thick. Of course, there were almost no experts above the martial master realm in Black Moon City. After all, experts of that level did not need to be a gangster here. They could casually join any martial arts organization and it would be enough to obtain an extremely high status. Even if they went out to hunt monsters, the money they earned was more than smuggling here. But even so, it did not prevent this underworld organization from doing all kinds of evil. They killed countless people and were fierce and cruel. Every time they killed someone, they would leave a huge bloody hand at the scene. The bloody hand showed the prestige of the Blood Hand organization. Because of this, the organization's reputation spread far and wide. No one dared to offend them. As the future successor of this organization, Lu Lai, who dared to be presumptuous? It was understandable that Jun was so afraid. After all, Black Moon City was a lawless city. There were no laws and no police. If he died, no one would avenge him. How could he not be afraid? Get lost. With a bang, Lu Lai kicked Jun in the chest, sending him flying like a soccer ball. Go and treat your injuries immediately. If you dare to lose a second time and embarrass me again, I'll take your life. Yes, young Master Lu. Jun didn't dare to say anything. Wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth, he scrambled away in terror. At this time, Lu Lai turned his head and stared at Xia Ping. Jun is my dog. As the saying goes, you should look at the owner before you beat a dog. You beat my dog. How are you going to compensate me? His tone was incomparably domineering, and there was no room for doubt. How? Xia Ping laughed. I beat him in a formal duel. Do I have to compensate you? Lu Lai stood with his hands behind his back. That's right, compensation. You think you don't need to pay a price for beating my people and ruining my reputation? What a joke. This is Black Moon City, the city of the underworld, a lawless city. Whoever's fist is bigger is the boss. You winning in a duel is a small matter. Offending me is a big matter. Do you believe that one word from me can make you unable to walk out of Black Moon City? His tone was filled with murderous intent. Everyone else was shocked. They knew that Lu Lai was not joking. The Blood Hand also had this kind of power. Once it started, it would be a terrifying war machine. Even near the Black Moon Tower, the Blood Hand wouldn't dare to act recklessly. They had to respect the Black Moon King. But once they left the tower's territory, the Black Moon King wouldn't care. The Blood Hand could do whatever they wanted. In such a big city, it was too easy for a few people to die. This was the tyranny of the underworld. They ignored the rules and followed the law of the jungle. As long as they didn't like someone, they would kill them. Get over here and kowtow to apologize. Otherwise, if you piss me off, you won't see the sun tomorrow. Lu Lai's eyes were filled with arrogance. He looked at Xia Ping as if he was looking at an ant, as if it was only natural. To a young master of the underworld like him, killing a few so-called geniuses was a piece of cake. There were not many things in this world, but there were many geniuses. So what if a few died? Idiot. Xia Ping clasped his hands behind his back and looked at Lu Lai coldly. Who the hell do you think you are to talk to me? You don't have what it takes to make me unable to walk out of Black Moon City. Call your dad. The Blood Hand was very arrogant in Black Moon City. But compared to the giant company, they were just trash. They could destroy a small organization like this with a single breath. This kind of trash wanted him to kowtow and apologize. That was a dream. This kid was so arrogant because he was relying on the power behind him. He was relying on his father. But in terms of power, who was afraid of who? What could be more powerful than the giant company? Impudent. Is this how you talk to me? Do you want to die? Lu Lai's eyes were filled with anger. His body suddenly moved, and in the blink of an eye, he arrived. Suddenly, he stretched out his right hand and slapped. The air was filled with a strong wind of true qi. Faintly, a blood-red light was emitted in the air. It was as if a ghost was screaming, causing people to tremble. He wanted to slap this kid in front of him and ruthlessly trample on him. Boom! Xia Ping moved later but arrived first. He suddenly punched out and stepped out. Like a ferocious tiger coming out of the mountain, the whole hall seemed to be shaking at this moment. Bang! This punch fiercely hit Lu Lai's right hand. A flood-like power immediately exploded. Lu Lai screamed. He felt that his right hand was broken and his whole body was sent flying. With a few bangs, he continuously smashed 2 to 3 men in black behind him. In the end, he slid for tens of meters and hit the wall. Only then did he stop. Immediately, he felt pain all over his body. Young Master Lu. The few underlings behind him were shocked. They hurriedly went up and helped Lu Lai up. They were terrified. This was the young master of the Blood Hand. If something really happened, they would not be able to keep their heads. You! Lu Lai was infuriated. He struggled and was extremely angry. He glared at Xia Ping. He did not expect that his sudden attack would be blocked by the opponent. Moreover, the opponent's strength was too terrifying. He had no way to resist and was defeated. Moreover, this was in front of so many people. He had lost all his face. One could imagine how angry he was in his heart. You dare to come out with such little strength? Acting arrogant and despotic like others. Aren't you afraid of losing your father's face? Xia Ping looked down at Lu Lai with disdain. Go home and train your martial arts. Don't come out to fool around. Bullying people and acting like a tyrant is not suitable for you. Do you understand? To tell you the truth, without the support of the Blood Hand, you are nothing. Everyone looks down on you. What? Chapter 196. You want to die? Lu Lai was going crazy. He wanted to rush up and fight Xia Ping. But at that moment, a dozen guards from the Black Moon Tower walked out and warned, you are not allowed to fight in the Black Moon Tower. If you dare to fight again, you will die. Their voices were filled with murderous intent. Even the people from Blood Hand were shocked. After all, this was not Blood Hand's territory. It was Black Moon King's territory. If they broke the rules, even Blood Hand could not protect them. If they died, they would die for nothing. You are lucky this time. Hearing this, Lu Lai's eyes were filled with fear. He gritted his teeth and stared at Xia Ping. Just you wait. Don't walk out of the Black Moon Tower. If you do, you will regret it. After saying this, he turned around and left with his men. Lu Lai was a smart man. He would not openly challenge Black Moon King's rules. If he did, even his father would kill him himself to appease Black Moon King's anger. Whoosh! 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 The members of the Blood Hand organization left one after another. However, before they left behind a dozen or so ferocious gazes that made people tremble in fear. Everyone knew that this matter was not over yet. This kid is done for. So stupid. He dared to offend Blood Hand. He must be tired of living. Even if Blood Hand does not dare to do anything in the Black Moon Tower, it is different in other places. Unless this kid stays here for the rest of his life, he will die if he leaves the Black Moon Tower. Poor martial arts genius. He offended such a cruel organization. He has no future. Everyone discussed and looked at Xia Ping with pity. They thought this kid was already a dead man. Those who were targeted by Blood Hand did not have a good ending. Even if this brat looked like he had some money, and his family probably had some background, but in Black Moon City, in this lawless area, the so-called background was completely useless. This kid is too good at causing trouble. Gu Peng also saw this scene through the surveillance video and had a speechless look on his face. In the past, all the martial artists who wanted to join the giant company were all low profile. They came to the Black Moon Pagoda quietly and left quietly. No one would discover their existence. Everything was very peaceful and there were no accidents. But this brat is not peaceful at all. He causes trouble everywhere. The moment he arrives, he fights with people. Now, he even offends the Blood Hand organization. He even beat up the crown prince of the Blood Hand organization in front of everyone. Although to the giant company, the so-called Blood Hand organization was just trash, Gu Peng believed that after this bastard joined the giant company, he wouldn't be able to live in peace. Maybe he would continue to cause even more trouble. Of course, this kind of thing could only happen if this kid passed the Black Moon Tower's trial. At this time, a staff member walked up and said to Xia Ping, "Sir, the Black Moon Tower nightmare trial that you booked yesterday is about to begin. Are you ready?" "Sure." Xia Ping nodded, feeling excited. Finally, the trial was about to begin. The reason he came here was to participate in the Black Moon Tower's trial. As for the Blood Hand organization, that was only secondary. Nightmare trial. This kid is really gutsy. Previously, I thought this guy was here to play to the gallery. But after seeing his strength just now, maybe he really wants to pass the nightmare trial. What a joke. Which martial artist who can pass the nightmare trial doesn't leave their name in history? They will definitely become King Realm martial artists in the future. How can one just appear randomly? I've stayed in the Black Moon Tower for 18 years, and I haven't seen one. It's really too difficult to want such a monstrous martial artist to appear. I think this kid will quickly run out of here. He wants to challenge the nightmare trial now. He's simply dreaming. He's overestimating himself. It's not that I'm looking down on this kid, but if he really can pass the nightmare trial, I will eat shit in front of everyone without hesitation. I won't hesitate. Big brother is awesome. Count me in, let's eat together. Many of the audience members were whispering. They didn't think that Xia Ping could pass the nightmare trial. Some of them even said that if this kid passed, they would eat shit on the spot. Okay, follow me. The staff member ignored the others. Seeing that Xia Ping agreed, he nodded and brought Xia Ping to a silver elevator in the northeast corner. With a ding, the two of them took the elevator to the 12th floor of the Black Moon Tower. After coming out, they saw a long passageway with huge training rooms on both sides. Go in. The staff member led Xia Ping to room 1201, opened the door, and let Xia Ping walk in. Xia Ping didn't hesitate and directly walked into the room. Boom! When the door closed, he immediately felt the world spin, as if he was surrounded by a spatial force. He didn't know where he was teleported to. When Xia Ping opened his eyes, he immediately found himself in a huge city, but this city was full of ruins. Black smoke rose, the roads were broken, and there were abandoned cars parked on the side of the road. There was a pool of black blood on the ground, and there was an unpleasant smell in the air. It was like a ruin. This seemed to be a city from the cataclysm. Amazing, this is the Black Moon Tower's martial arts simulation space. Xia Ping stood on the asphalt road and felt the atmosphere around him. He could clearly feel that he was in the middle of a real city. But he also knew that this was not a real city, but a unique space simulated by the Black Moon Tower, a dimensional space with a boundless area. This kind of technology was beyond the imagination of ordinary people. Boom! Suddenly, a metallic voice came from the simulation space, "Trial Taker Huang, in 3 minutes, you will begin the first heaven of the Martial Warrior Realm Nightmare Level Trial. Within an hour, you need to kill 1,000 first heaven of the Martial Warrior Realm Blood Demon Wolves. If you die halfway, you fail the trial. If you can't kill 10,000 Blood Demon Wolves, you fail too." What? Hearing this, Xia Ping's mouth twitched. Kill 1,000 Blood Demon Wolves within an hour, fail if you die, fail if you can't kill all of them? That's crazy. Xia Ping was stunned and felt dumbfounded. What was the concept of 1,000 Blood Demon Wolves? It was like an endless army. Just by running, it was enough to trample a bunch of martial artists to death and flatten a town. It was unparalleled. But now, there was actually a chance to kill 1,000 Blood Demon Wolves, and it had to be done within an hour. If they died, they would lose, and if they couldn't kill all of them, they would lose too. This was not a trial, it was clearly playing with your life. Chapter 197. At the same time, Xia Ping also knew that the entry-level trial required to kill 10 blood demon wolves of the same level, the easy level required to kill 50 blood demon wolves of the same level, and the hard level required to kill 100 blood demon wolves of the same level. At the nightmare level, it was necessary to kill 1,000. It was very difficult for an ordinary martial artist to deal with one blood demon wolf of the same level, let alone kill 10 of them. It was almost impossible, even if one didn't have outstanding battle prowess. As for 50, 100, it was even more difficult. If thousands of blood demon wolves attacked, it was estimated that the trial taker would be torn to pieces in an instant, leaving nothing behind. It's too difficult to pass the nightmare level trial. In the distance, Gu Peng held a glass of wine in his hand, shaking it gently, and sighed. Although he could not see what happened in the trial space, he could also be sure that it was almost impossible for Xia Ping to pass this nightmare level trial. Back then, in order to pass the hard level trial, he spent a lot of effort, fought with hundreds of blood demon wolves, fought bloody battles, and was seriously injured. In this way, it took him a whole month to finally pass. As for the nightmare level trial, he didn't even dare to think about it, and felt that it was not something that humans could pass. After all, in the trial of Black Moon Tower, the enemies faced by the trial taker are of the same level. No matter how strong your cultivation is, once you enter the martial arts simulation space of Black Moon Tower, you will be treated equally. When he tries this nightmare level trial and knows the power of this trial, he will probably be honest. There is still a so-called limit to human strength. Gu Peng smiled slightly. He was not worried about Xia Ping's safety. Because the trial of Black Moon Tower still has a safety guarantee, there is a super intelligent system inside. Once it detects that the trial taker's life is in danger, it will immediately terminate the trial and teleport out. It is also because of this that Black Moon Tower attracts countless martial artists. There is no danger to life, and you can experience the cruel battle of life and death. It is estimated that there is no better place to increase your combat experience than this. At this time, in the trial space, Xia Ping stood in the same place, moved his body, but his expression was relaxed. Just now he was frightened by the number of thousands of blood demon wolves, but after calming down, he found that it was very difficult for ordinary martial artists, and it was not an exaggeration to say that there was no chance of survival. But for him, it was not impossible to pass. I have the Dark North Body Protection Technique. Xia Ping clenched his fists. My defense is unparalleled. As long as the enemy's combat power doesn't exceed mine by too much, they won't be able to break my defense. Although these blood demon wolves are powerful, they are at the same martial arts realm as me. It's impossible for them to break my defense. In this way, I'm in an invincible position. It was precisely because of this that Xia Ping was not afraid of this trial. And I just happened to exchange for the second level of Dark North Body Protection skill. I can take this opportunity to try and let these blood demon wolves know my power. Xia Ping's eyes were filled with fighting spirit. 3 minutes passed quickly, and the robotic voice sounded again. The first heaven of the martial artist realm, nightmare trial begins. As soon as he finished speaking, demonic wolves the size of calves appeared on the streets of the ruined city. They were covered with blood-red fur, and their eyes were red. Their limbs were powerful, and they had sharp claws. As they slashed at the ground, shocking gashes appeared on the ground, and they gave off a monstrous aura. Roar! On the streets, thousands of blood demon wolves rushed out, and their claws were invincible. Even titanium alloy metal could be easily torn apart. If these blood demon wolves get close, they will tear humans into pieces in an instant. Just one is enough to pose a threat to a martial artist realm powerhouse, let alone thousands of them. Rumble! The entire ruined city resounded with the roar of the demon wolves. Thousands of blood demon wolves rushed and trampled crazily. When they saw Xia Ping, it was as if they saw a supreme delicacy. Within 100 miles, it was trembling and roaring. Amazing! Even if Xia Ping has confidence in himself, he felt nervous when he saw so many blood demon wolves rushing madly. This is the power of the real beast tide. It can be imagined what kind of cruel situation human beings faced hundreds of years ago. When these monsters ruled the entire Yanhuang star, human beings could only tremble. These monsters often slaughtered human cities. They were bloody and powerful, causing countless human beings to tremble and be in danger. That was a dark age, an age without any hope. But fortunately, human beings still won and once again became the overlord of Yanhuang Star, relying on the tyrannical strength of the martial arts powerhouses, which was enough to compete with countless tyrannical monsters. In a few breaths, dozens of blood demon wolves rushed over first, like a tide, flocking over, exuding the aura of hunting prey, leaving no place to escape. These blood demon wolves were not polite. They opened their fangs, stretched out their claws, and rushed over like a gust of wind, wanting to tear the prey in front of them into pieces in an instant. A silver-cold light flashed through the air. But when these blood demon wolves wanted to approach Xia Ping, their huge bodies seemed to hit a hard wall. The surface of Xia Ping's body was covered with a thick layer of true qi armor, which was more than 10 centimeters thick. Bang bang bang. These blood demon wolves that were rushing at full speed collided with it. It was like a sports car driving at 200 kilometers per hour suddenly hitting a wall. Only the car would be destroyed and people would die. But this situation is even more terrifying. Because Xia Ping practiced the second layer of Dark North body protection technique, it evolved a new ability, Rebound. Pay the enemy back in his own coin. At the second level, this technique can not only absorb and digest the enemy's attack power, but also reflect these attacks back. If it reaches the third level, it can double the rebound, and even reach a higher level, it will produce dozens of times the power of the rebound, and the enemy will be shocked to death in an instant. Dozens of blood demon wolves that rushed over first did not expect this human being to be so terrifying. They were all caught off guard, screamed, and their whole bodies were blasted out. They exploded directly in mid-air, turned into a mass of meat sauce, and died without a whole body. This is the real Dark North body protection technique, which integrates attack and defense, and is invincible. Xia Ping felt the power of his Dark North body protection technique. The true qi in his body was manipulated by him at will. It was superb and omnipotent, and his heart was extremely happy. At the same time, because of the collision of these blood demon wolves, the tyrannical attack power was absorbed by Dark North body protection technique, which was equivalent to helping him cultivate, temper his body, and become stronger. Chapter 198. Yes, that's it. Xia Ping stood where he was. He didn't even attack. Countless blood demon wolves rushed at him, and then they were shocked to death by a strong rebound force. The fiercer and stronger they were, the faster they would die. Xia Ping, on the other hand, felt refreshed. This was equivalent to the top practice. The genuine qi in his body was surging, and the elixir energy contained in his body was being refined little by little. He felt that the genuine qi in his meridians was surging like the sea, flowing into the Baihui acupoint. This powerful genuine qi almost filled the entire Baihui acupoint, making a crashing sound. Once this acupoint was full of genuine qi, he could try to open the second acupoint and advance to the second heaven of the martial artist realm. Bang! 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 In this way, the blood demon wolves attacked him one by one, and then were shaken away. They exploded in the air and turned into a mass of blood. The whole street was stained with blood, as if it had turned into a blood river. Congratulations! It took you 25 minutes and 36 seconds to kill all 1,000 blood demon wolves. You have passed the nightmare trial perfectly. At this time, a metallic voice resounded over the whole ruined city. What? Gone? All these blood demon wolves are dead? Xia Ping opened his eyes and looked at the blood demon wolves' bodies that had been smashed into pieces in the distance. Now none of these blood demon wolves could survive. They were all dead. He felt a little regretful. He had been immersed in cultivation just now, and the genuine qi in his body was surging. If he had cultivated for another half an hour, he estimated that the genuine qi in his body could fill the entire Baihui acupoint and reach the peak of the first heaven of the martial artist realm. At that time, he could try to open the second acupoint. Congratulations to trial tester Huang for passing the nightmare trial of the first heaven of the martial artist realm without any loss. You have set a new record. You are rewarded with a King Realm secret manual, Kun Peng Step, and a 9 reincarnation elixir. At this time, the metallic voice sounded in the sky again. At the same time, a secret manual and a white porcelain bottle fell from the air. What? Xia Ping subconsciously took the secret manual and the white bottle. He blinked his eyes. There was actually a reward for passing this nightmare trial? What was going on? And at this moment, the entire Black Moon Pagoda shook and a dazzling light appeared. A few large golden words appeared in the air. Trial Challenger Huang passed the Fighter First Heaven's Nightmare Trial without any losses and created a new record for the Fighter Realm of the Black Moon Pagoda. Rewarded with a King Realm secret manual, Kun Peng Steps, and a 9 Transformations Essence Nurturing Pill. This row of golden characters trembled, emitting a dazzling radiance that illuminated the entire tower. Even the sun in the sky couldn't compare to it. Indistinctly, the cries of tens of thousands of beasts could be heard, causing everything within 100 miles to tremble. Whether it was the people inside the Black Moon Tower or the people outside, they were all shocked. What? Someone passed the nightmare trial. Who is it? The group was shocked. In the past 10 years, no one had been able to pass the nightmare trial. Now, someone had actually completed it. That's not right. Even if someone passed the nightmare trial, the Black Moon Tower wouldn't make such a move. Some people expressed their suspicions, finding it hard to understand. There had been people who had passed the nightmare level trial before, but they hadn't announced it to the world like this. Didn't you hear? This trial taker set a record. He passed the nightmare trial without suffering any losses. That's why the Black Moon Tower announced it to the world. The entire Black Moon Tower is celebrating. You must be joking. Passing the nightmare trial without suffering any losses, is this guy a freak? This is unbelievable. Even if someone passed the nightmare trial with serious injuries, they would still be considered a peerless monster. But now, someone actually passed it without suffering any losses. What kind of god is this? No wonder he set a record. Even the Black Moon Tower was alarmed. It's unbelievable. Facing thousands of beasts of the same level, he could kill them without suffering any losses. What kind of monster is this? The crowd discussed animatedly. They were all very shocked, and all of them were dumbfounded. They were very clear about what it meant to be able to set a record in the Black Moon Tower. As long as someone who could do this did not die along the way, he would definitely become an invincible King Realm powerhouse. That's right, this trial taker Huang. Is he the Huang who just defeated Frenzied Blade He Jun and offended Blood Hands Crown Prince Lu Lai? Someone shouted, his face revealing an expression of disbelief. He clearly remembered that it was this kid who was going to participate in the nightmare trial. But not long after, there was news that he passed the nightmare trial and even set a record. Yes, it must be that kid. Other than that kid called Huang, who else could be called Huang? There were also people who were shocked. Because the name of the person who logged into the Black Moon Tower might be fake, but there was absolutely no repetition. It can't be. That stupid kid really passed the nightmare trial and even set a record? This is incredible. That Huang is definitely a peerless monster. He will become a King Realm powerhouse in the future. Just now, I thought that kid was bragging. He said that he was a genius from his hometown and that he would become a King Realm powerhouse in the future. I didn't expect it to be true. That kid didn't lie. All the martial artists of the Black Moon Tower were shocked and dumbfounded. They simply did not dare to believe their eyes. That stupid, rich, and arrogant bastard just now actually passed the nightmare trial and even set a record. This shocked the Black Moon Tower. This was something that had never happened in 100 years. If such a person was not a peerless monster, then no one had the right to call themselves a genius. When they thought of this, some people regretted to the point that their intestines turned green. If they knew that the kid was so powerful, they would have gone up to curry favor with him a long time ago. He was a king realm powerhouse in the future. If they could obtain the friendship of such a person, then what would they have to worry about in the future? With such a thick thigh, they would not have to worry for the rest of their lives. Right, didn't someone just say that as long as that Huang can pass the nightmare trial, he will eat shit on the spot? Now that he has passed, why don't you come and let everyone witness it? One person shouted as if he wanted the world to be in chaos. Yes, I still remember that there was another person who was also excited and wanted to join in and eat. Now come out and take a few steps and let everyone get to know him. Another person beside him laughed loudly. Get to know him. When they heard these words, the faces of the two people who said these words just now turned green. They did not even dare to breathe loudly. The two of them were like turtles hiding in the crowd, afraid that someone would discover them. The two of them even shrunk back and wanted to sneak away. Otherwise, if the surrounding martial artists found out that the two of them said these words, they might really be forced to eat shit. The two of them cursed in their hearts and felt extremely sullen. Damn it, they were only joking when they said these words. Who would have thought that the bastard would really pass the nightmare trial and even set a record? Chapter 199. On a spaceship at the airport of Black Moon City. With a snap, the crystal wine glass in Gu Peng's hand fell to the ground. With a crisp sound, it shattered into pieces, and the wine spilled all over the ground. No way, is this a joke? He really passed the nightmare trial and even created a new record? Gu Peng was dumbfounded. He rubbed his eyes, as if he couldn't believe what he saw. Just passing the nightmare trial was already a huge thing, but setting a new record was even more terrifying. Those who could do this were all world-shaking experts in the future. They had strength far beyond the king realm, and they were truly the big shots who stood at the peak of countless martial arts experts. And this Xia Ping, it was very likely that he had such talent. Incredible, Master really recruited an incredible genius this time. Gu Peng sighed. He originally thought that this kid passing the hard trial was already amazing. But he didn't expect that he would actually pass the nightmare trial and even create a record. This was completely beyond his imagination. It could be said that Yi Ping's future achievements in martial arts might even be above his own. But creating a record and receiving a treasure from the Black Moon Tower might not be a blessing. I'm afraid it will cause many people to be greedy. Gu Peng's eyes flashed as he sat on his chair. He wanted nothing more than to call Xia Ping back immediately and let him pass the trial. But according to the rules of the giant company, just passing the Black Moon Tower's hard trial was not enough. He had to return to the airport safely for it to be considered over. If there was any big trouble during this period, he couldn't interfere and could only watch. A martial arts expert passing the Black Moon Tower trial and even created a record made all the martial artists in the Black Moon Tower excited. It also attracted the attention of many people in the underworld. Incredible, the youngsters nowadays are incredible. They can actually create a record. How many years has it been since I last saw something like this? He is indeed a genius, but if he dies prematurely, then it's nothing. A dead genius is no different from an ordinary person. They are all corpses. Did you see that? This kid, Huang, has obtained an extraordinary reward for establishing this record. A king realm cultivation technique, the rock steps, and a 9 transformation origin fostering pill. Both of these are supreme treasures. Many people from the underworld were discussing it, their eyes filled with greed. Such a huge and precious reward had also aroused the jealousy and desire of many cultivators. It really is a treasure. It's a king realm cultivation technique. That's a precious cultivation technique that leads directly to the king realm. It's priceless, and even tens of billions of Federation coins might not be able to buy it. An underworld figure clenched his fists, his eyes filled with desire. If I can get this secret manual, my combat power will be at least 2 to 3 times stronger than it is now, or even more. At that time, even the martial master realm will be within our reach. To a martial artist, a true top-notch martial technique secret manual was immeasurably beneficial. As for King Realm's secret manuals, the increase in a martial artist's strength was not just a little bit. Ordinary martial techniques could be purchased in the major companies of Yanhuang Star, but King Realm's secret manuals could not be bought even if one had money. They were true secrets that were treasured by countless martial arts organizations. On Yanhuang Star, martial techniques were also divided into several levels: basic martial techniques, intermediate martial techniques, advanced martial techniques, master martial techniques, grandmaster martial techniques, and finally King Realm martial techniques. With each increase in level, the degree of preciousness would increase exponentially. One could imagine how much these underworld figures desired it. Although King Realm's secret manuals are precious, what's really precious is the 9 transformation origin fostering pill. An underworld boss's eyes were extremely fanatical as he said excitedly, "Do you know what the origin fostering pill is?" It's a peerless pill that consolidates the foundation, improves one's aptitude, and enhances one's potential. Among them, the first transformation origin fostering pill is extremely precious. One can only be bought with tens of millions of Federation coins. As for the second transformation origin fostering pill and the third transformation origin fostering pill, it goes without saying that their value has increased exponentially. There is no doubt that once one takes this 9 transformation origin fostering pill, even a loser can be transformed into a real genius in an instant. Their cultivation will improve by leaps and bounds, and their potential will be enhanced. At that time, they will even have hope of advancing to the king realm. Hearing this, everyone revealed extremely greedy gazes. They simply wished for nothing more than to immediately seize these 2 treasures, and they couldn't suppress the palpitation in their hearts. To these underworld figures, all geniuses were fake. Only their own strength in the martial Tao was real. At this moment, in a hotel outside the Black Moon Tower, it was a stronghold of the Blood Hand organization. "Boss, that kid Huang passed the nightmare trial and created a new record. He obtained the 9 transformation origin fostering pill and King Realm secret manuals from the Black Moon Tower. That kid has completely struck it rich," a subordinate reported. He revealed an expression of envy and jealousy. If he obtained these 2 treasures, his cultivation in the martial Tao would definitely soar into the sky. Struck it rich? Lu Lai's eyes revealed a trace of coldness, and he smiled ferociously. If he can leave Black Moon City alive, then he will truly strike it rich. If he dies in this place, then it will be like the moon in the water. I was just worrying that there was no reason to mobilize the power of the Blood Hand organization to deal with that damned bastard. I didn't expect that he would really send me a pillow when I want to doze off. This is really great. This is a great opportunity bestowed by the heavens. He laughed loudly, incomparably arrogant. "Boss, could it be that you want to deal with that Huang?" That subordinate was stunned. Lu Lai clenched his fists, and a trace of bone-piercing coldness appeared on his body. "Deal with? Wrong, I want him dead. Just the fact that he dared to disrespect me before is enough for him to die. Now that kid has one more reason to die." As the saying goes, an innocent man gets into trouble because of his wealth. A trash of the first heaven of the martial warrior realm, a poor country boy from God knows where, is qualified to obtain these treasures? The King Realm's secret manuals and the 9 transformation origin fostering pill belong to my Blood Hand organization. His voice was resolute and there was no doubt. And on the other side, at the headquarters of the Black Bear Company. Director Dai, after a few months, that Huang has appeared. Several subordinates hurriedly ran in, and reported this earth-shattering event to their boss. "What's going on?" Inside the office, the knife-scarred man turned around. It is said that the guy called Huang went to the Black Moon Tower, and even passed the first heaven of the martial warrior realm nightmare level trial, created the Black Moon Tower record, and obtained 2 peerless treasures. The problem is, we can't be sure if he is the culprit who blew up our company building. We also don't have enough evidence to prove it. After all, there are many people with the same name and surname in this world. Several subordinates said in a deep voice. Who cares so much? Whoever is called Huang deserves to die. Whoever dares to provoke my Black Bear Company, no matter who, must pay the price. And that King Realm's secret manual and the 9 transformation origin fostering pill, my Black Bear Company also wants them. Immediately mobilize our brothers to head to the Black Moon Tower, and surround that guy called Huang. The knife-scarred man Dian sneered, his killing intent soaring. Yes, Director Dian, many members of the Black Bear Company spoke one after another, their killing intent soaring. Whether that guy was the culprit or not was not important, the important thing was that their Black Bear Company wanted those 2 treasures. This was enough to make them want to kill. This was the power of the underworld. Chapter 200. Boom. At the end of the trial, Xia Ping felt himself surrounded by energy and was teleported out of the room, holding 2 things in his hand. One was the secret book, Kuan Peng Steps, and the other was a 9-turn essence cultivating pill. These 2 things were the treasures rewarded by the Black Moon Tower. There's such a benefit from passing the trial? Xia Ping touched his chin. He had never heard of such a thing. In fact, not many people had heard of it. After all, it was unknown how many years it had been since a record was created. So it was normal that many people didn't know about it. Even those who knew about it wouldn't tell anyone. System, how much is this Kuan Peng Steps worth? Xia Ping asked subconsciously. The system replied, if it is exchanged within the system, it will require at least 100,000 hatred points. If the host wants to learn this step, it will cost 20,000 hatred points. What? Xia Ping was overjoyed. This was a secret book worth 100,000 hatred points. Even the previous 10,000 Beast's Fist was only worth 50,000 hatred points. One could imagine how precious this Kuan Peng Steps was. It could be said that he had made a big reward this time. And this 9-turn essence cultivating pill, he had also heard of the reputation of this kind of pill. This was a top-grade pill. Even if he wanted to buy it on the market, no one would be willing to sell it. As long as he took this pill, he felt that he would be promoted to the 2nd layer of the martial artist realm. It would also improve his aptitude and enhance his potential. I'm rich now. It's really good to come to the Black Moon Tower. Not only did I pass the trial, but I also have a huge reward. Xia Ping happily put the 2 treasures on his body. Then he left here, planning to return to the airport of Black Moon City and end this trial. Officially joining the giant company was the most important thing. As for studying martial arts secret books and taking pills, it would not be too late after this matter was over. Anyway, it was in his hands. Ding! Taking the elevator from the 12th floor of the Black Moon Tower, Xia Ping soon came to the hall on the 1st floor. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. When Xia Ping's figure appeared in the hall on the 1st floor, all the cultivators present immediately focused their gazes on Xia Ping. Everyone revealed extremely complicated expressions, such as admiration, awe, greed, pity, and so on. It seemed that all the emotions of humans were revealed at this moment. He's here, that Huang is out. He's the one who set a record that no one has broken in the Black Moon Tower for decades. Previously, when this guy said that he wanted to pass the nightmare trial, I thought he was just bragging. I didn't expect him to actually do it. Anyone who can create a record in the Black Moon Tower, as long as they don't die, will definitely become a legend. Everyone discussed spiritedly as they stared at Xia Ping. Their eyes flickered with complicated emotions. Some people thought that they were watching the beginning of a legend, the beginning of a story. Brother, you must be Huang, right? Can I have a word with you? Suddenly, a few middle-aged men dressed in tiger-striped clothes walked over, revealing a mouthful of white teeth. They surrounded Xia Ping in an instant. Their bodies exuded a murderous aura. All of them were experts in the second heaven of the martial artist realm and were extremely powerful. One of them was an expert at the third heaven of the martial artist realm. Can I have a word with you? What do you want? Xia Ping narrowed his eyes and stared at these people. He could clearly feel the malice from these people, and they were clearly targeting him. I heard that you've created a record in the Black Moon Tower and obtained a King Realm Manual and a 9-Revolution Origin Nurturing Pill. The middle-aged man in the lead said, "We're very interested in this. I wonder if you can sell it to us." Sell? How much do you want to pay? Xia Ping's eyes turned as he asked. The middle-aged man smiled lightly. "We can offer 100 million federal coins." He stretched out a finger. Everyone was in an uproar. This was clearly robbery. Merely a 9-Revolution Origin Nurturing Pill was worth hundreds of millions, and the value of a King Realm Manual was even more terrifying. It was a treasure that couldn't be bought with money. Now, they actually wanted to buy these two treasures for a mere 100 million. If this wasn't robbery, then what was? Idiot. Xia Ping couldn't be bothered to talk nonsense with these people. He directly waved his hand and told them to scram. Did they really think he was an idiot? They wanted to take away a 9-Revolution Origin Nurturing Pill and a King Realm Manual for 100 million? Young man, I advise you not to be impulsive. The middle-aged man remained unmoved and still had a smile on his face. I admit that you do have some talent to be able to pass through the nightmare trial. However, you're only a martial artist at the first level of the martial artist realm. No matter how strong you are, there's a limit. There are a lot of people in Black Moon City who can kill you. As the saying goes, an innocent man gets into trouble because of his wealth. There are some things that some people can possess and some can't. Otherwise, you'll be courting death. As long as you're willing to give these two treasures to my Fierce Tiger organization, we'll definitely be able to protect your life and allow you to leave Black Moon City safely. This is a good deal, isn't it? After all, in this world, what's more important than life? He looked at Xia Ping with a smile, and his tone contained a trace of threat. Are you threatening me? Xia Ping narrowed his eyes and looked at the middle-aged man. A trace of displeasure surged in his heart. He was very clear that the Fierce Tiger organization was a super underworld organization in Black Moon City. It was an underworld force that was on par with the Blood Hand organization. They had numerous members and experts. A force like this had a terrifying amount of power in Black Moon City. The middle-aged man waved his hand. No. I'm not threatening you. I'm just telling you a fact. There are a lot of talented people in this world. You're just one of them. It's true that you might have the potential to advance to the King Realm, but that's just potential. Without growing up, everything is just empty words. There are many geniuses who die along the way. I think you should know when to lower your head and when to compromise. You should know better than me that things that are too hard are easy to break. He still had the face of a smiling tiger. Get lost. Xia Ping couldn't be bothered to talk to these people. Hearing this, the middle-aged men next to him had ugly expressions. They looked like they wanted to fight, but were stopped by their boss. He smiled at Xia Ping and said, "All right, since you're not willing, I won't force you. I wish you good luck. Of course, if you have nowhere else to go, my Fierce Tiger organization will still welcome you. But the price at that time, I'm afraid it won't be this price anymore." With that, he waved his hand and quickly left with his subordinates. He did not continue to bother Xia Ping. Chapter 201. After the group of people from the Fierce Tiger organization left, the matter was not over. Group after group of people came up, all of them from the major underworld organizations of Black Moon City. They all tried to trade with Xia Ping, wanting to spend a huge amount of money to buy the King Realm Manual and the 9 Transformation Pill. But all of them were greedy. Even the highest price was only 500 million, and after that, no one else offered a price. Xia Ping was not an idiot. Of course, he would not agree to such an obviously fraudulent deal. He rejected all of them and told these underworld people to get out of here and not be an eyesore. The underworld people flew into a rage out of humiliation. They shouted that Xia Ping could not leave Black Moon City, and that once he left the Black Moon Tower, he would immediately die on the streets. But they did not dare to make a move in the Black Moon Tower, and all of them left with their tails between their legs. I will die if I leave the Black Moon Tower. Interesting, I want to see how these underworld people want to deal with me. Xia Ping's eyes flashed, and he strode out of the Black Moon Tower. Not long after, he came to a wide square on the east side of the Black Moon Tower. Once he left this square, he would be completely out of the Black Moon Tower's sphere of influence. At that time, no matter what he did, the forces of the Black Moon Tower would not care. When he came to the edge of the square, Xia Ping immediately saw many underworld people eyeing him like hungry wolves. The moment he had the impulse to take a step outside, they would immediately make a move. The air was filled with a murderous atmosphere, extremely oppressive. With a snap, Xia Ping took a step forward, and half of his foot stepped over the edge of the square without hesitation. Bang! At this moment, a terrifying sniper bullet shot out from a tall building in the distance. It tore through the air and whistled through the air. In just a few breaths, it shot towards Xia Ping's head, exploding with an incomparably terrifying might. With a whoosh, Xia Ping's spiritual energy spread out. His body had long sensed the danger. His figure flashed, and he took 2 or 3 steps to the left, moving several meters. And this bullet just happened to pass by, and in an instant, it exploded on the ground, and immediately blasted a deep pit, more than 10 centimeters in diameter. Gravel flew everywhere, the ground shook, and dazzling sparks surged. The surrounding people were all dumbfounded. This kind of sniper was too terrifying. The moment Xia Ping came out, he actually made a move to kill, without holding back, extremely fierce. This was clearly to take Xia Ping's life. What? However, Xia Ping felt that the threat of death was not over yet. 5 or 6 terrifying air currents immediately appeared in the air. Another 5 or 6 sniper bullets whistled through the air. Even though Xia Ping had retreated to the square, the hidden snipers still did not let him go. They wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to blow up his head. Snake fist, wild snake dance. In the blink of an eye, Xia Ping's body seemed to have transformed into a python. It was incomparably soft, as if he had no bones. He twisted in the air, changing into an unimaginable angle. These 5 or 6 bullets just happened to brush past Xia Ping's body at this moment and exploded on the marble floor. With a few bangs, several holes immediately appeared on the ground. The ground shook and gravel flew in all directions, creating a crashing sound. Some people were even more shocked. They watched in horror as the 5 or 6 bullets directly penetrated the ground by 2 to 3 meters. Even if a martial warrior realm expert was hit by this shot, his body would probably explode and he would die without a complete corpse. It's Lu Lai. Xia Ping raised his head and immediately sensed that on the top floor of an ordinary building in the distance, about 7 or 8 floors high, a young man was standing on the top floor. He seemed to be sneering as he looked down from the sky. His eyes were filled with malice, causing one's hair to stand on end. This young man was Lu Lai. Beside him stood 2 or 3 people in black, each holding a sniper rifle. It was obvious that these 3 people had personally attacked and wanted to kill Xia Ping. Unfortunately, they did not succeed. Damn it, I didn't actually kill him. Lu Lai's face was full of displeasure. He originally wanted to take advantage of this brat's carelessness and immediately order the snipers to shoot and kill this brat, completely eliminating any future troubles. However, he did not expect this brat's reaction to be so strong. Even when faced with a sudden attack, he could still calmly dodge the sniper's attacks. It could only be said that he was indeed a genius who could pass the nightmare-level trial. It seemed that it would not be easy to kill him just like that. How ruthless. He actually dared to make a move in the Black Moon Tower's territory. This Crown Prince of the Blood Hand organization is indeed lawless. Many people were secretly shocked. Even though Xia Ping had stepped half a step out of the Black Moon Tower's territory, it was still within the Black Moon Tower's territory. However, this Lu Lai actually dared to give the order to make a move on Xia Ping. One could imagine how ruthless Lu Lai was. Boom! At this moment, a mechanical voice sounded in the square, warning, anyone who attacks in the Black Moon Tower's territory will be killed without mercy. The entire tower immediately shook. At the top of the tower, there was actually a terrifying burst of purple lightning that contained extremely terrifying energy. In an instant, it fell from the sky. Bang bang bang. The speed of these purple lightning was extremely fast. With lightning speed, it bombarded down towards the few snipers. At this moment, there seemed to be a burning smell in the air. Young Master Lu, run! Seeing this, Lu Lai was so scared that his face turned pale. His entire body trembled. An honored martial artist of the sixth heaven beside him immediately acted. With a snap, he grabbed Lu Lai and instantly jumped from the top of the building. His speed was extremely fast, like an eagle catching a chick. With a strong airflow, he leaped down. Rumble, more than 10 purple lightning struck down. It was simply like the bombing of a missile, containing a terrifying power. The few snipers on the top floor, as well as some members of the Blood Hand organization, could not react at all. In just an instant, they were bombarded by the purple lightning. With a bang, these members of the Blood Hand organization immediately turned into a cloud of blood mist. They died without a complete corpse. Even the entire building was smashed into pieces by the purple lightning. When the purple lightning disappeared, the original 7 to 8 story tall building had already disappeared. In its place, there was a terrifying deep pit. It collapsed more than 10 meters and had a diameter of more than 100 meters. It looked dark and deep, emitting a terrifying aura of destruction. This. Lu Lai and the expert in the sixth heaven of the martial artist realm, who were lucky enough to escape, were dumbfounded and had a lingering fear in their hearts. If they were a step later, they would probably follow in the footsteps of the members of the Blood Hand organization. Fortunately, they sensed the danger in time and quickly escaped, falling to the ground at the side. Otherwise, they would definitely have died. Chapter 202. Amazing. Seeing this scene, Xia Ping also secretly sighed in admiration. He also knew that the Black Moon Tower was not just a training tower. It was also equipped with extraordinarily powerful weapons. Once it was used, it could slaughter a city and destroy a country. It was said that once the Black Moon Tower was fully activated, it could even kill a king realm cultivator. Therefore, the Black Moon Tower's rules were so strict that no one dared to violate it. It was because of this tyrannical power that the Black Moon Tower's bodyguards did not need to do anything. Once the Black Moon Tower determined that someone was an enemy or broke the rules here, they would immediately attack and kill. As long as one was within the range of Black Moon City, there was no way to escape. This Lu Lai really doesn't know his place. Indeed, he thinks that he can do whatever he wants in the Black Moon Tower just because he is the young master of the Blood Hand organization. He really overestimates himself. Luckily this time it was not him who attacked, so the Black Moon Tower's attack was not aimed at him. Otherwise, he would definitely be dead. Even his father would not be able to save him. He did not think that we, the underworld organizations, are all cruel and do all kinds of evil, but we do not dare to attack within the Black Moon Tower. Why is that? Does he think that he will not die just because he is lucky? He is still too young, he has not suffered much. Seeing this scene, the other underworld figures also laughed coldly. They looked at the young master of the Blood Hand organization, Lu Lai, with disdain. They thought that this guy was too arrogant and stupid. The entire Black Moon City could be so prosperous because of the existence of the Black Moon Tower. This was not only because it had a simulated martial arts space, but also because it had tyrannical combat power. Once it was used, the power it could display was simply unimaginable. This was a sci-fi weapon that surpassed the times. It could be said that the safety of the entire Black Moon City was protected by the Black Moon Tower. Its attack range covered a radius of 1,000 miles. Even if the enemy wanted to escape, they would not be able to escape. The reason why Lu Lai and the martial artist of the Sixth Heaven could escape was because they were not the ones who attacked with the hard object. Therefore, the Black Moon Tower did not target them and only killed the snipers. Otherwise, Lu Lai and the others would definitely die a violent death. Damn it! Lu Lai was half dead with anger. He had wanted to take this opportunity to kill the kid, but who would have thought that not only would he not be killed, he would also lose many elites of the Blood Hand organization. If this matter were to be spread back, he didn't know how his father would blame him. There was nothing more unlucky than this. It seems that staying within the Black Moon Tower's sphere of influence is absolutely safe. No one would dare to make a move against me. Xia Ping rubbed his chin. His eyes flickered as he looked at the fearful underworld figures around him. Whoosh! However, he did not stay where he was. Instead, he walked in the other direction of the plaza, wanting to see if there was another way out of Black Moon City. However, after circling around the Black Moon Tower, Xia Ping discovered that he was completely surrounded. Regardless of whether it was the Times Square in the east, the dark alleys in the west, the skyscrapers in the south, or the bars in the north, they were all guarded by the various large organizations of the Black Moon Tower. It was practically impenetrable. Once Xia Ping dared to leave the Black Moon Tower, he would immediately be surrounded and attacked by them. There was no way to escape. These underworld organizations are really going all out. Xia Ping's eyes flickered. After looking around, he discovered that there were at least 10,000 underworld figures watching him. They were so densely packed that it was equivalent to an army. It was obvious that in order to keep an eye on him and prevent him from secretly leaving the Black Moon Tower, these underworld organizations were going all out. Even if a fly tried to fly out, they would know. If a tiger doesn't show its power, they'll think I'm a sick cat. Seeing these underworld figures being so unscrupulous and treating him like a fat sheep to be slaughtered, Xia Ping felt very displeased. In reality, if he wanted to leave, it would be a piece of cake. As long as he consumed the invisibility pill, his aura and body would be completely hidden. He believed that no matter how powerful these underworld figures were, they would not be able to find him. However, he was displeased. If he just left like this, it would be equivalent to him being afraid of these underworld figures. It would be equivalent to surrendering. He could not swallow this anger. Interesting. Do you want to surround me at the Black Moon Tower and block me here? Then let's have some fun. Xia Ping's eyes revealed a cold light. After looking around, he once again returned to the interior of the Black Moon Tower. He had already decided to stay at the Black Moon Tower for the time being. In reality, the second floor of the Black Moon Tower also had rooms similar to a hotel. They provided food and lodging, but the price was extremely high. One night would cost 30,000 federal coins. This was not something that ordinary people could afford. Therefore, ordinary martial artists would not stay at the Black Moon Tower. Instead, they would find an ordinary hotel nearby to stay. But now, Xia Ping could not leave the Black Moon Tower. He could only stay in this room. This Huang has gone back. It seems that he plans to temporarily stay at the Black Moon Tower. What can he do if he doesn't go back? Does he want to leave and seek death? Indeed. Right now, all the underworld forces in Black Moon City, including the Blood Hand Organization, the Black Bear Organization, the Fierce Tiger Organization, and the Poison Wolf Organization, the four most tyrannical underworld organizations in Black Moon City, have their eyes on him. They have set up an inescapable net. Once he leaves, he will immediately die without a burial place. An innocent man will get into trouble because of his wealth. Actually, as long as he hands over these treasures and seeks the protection of an underworld organization, his safety will not be a problem. Are you kidding me? These are the secret manuals of the King Realm and the 9 transformations essence-enhancing pill. Don't you know how precious these treasures are? Who would be willing to hand over these treasures? Isn't that stupid? If he doesn't hand them over, he will die. What is more important than his own life? He might not die. This Huang is still hoping for a chance. Maybe he can get a chance to live. Let's wait and see. But I still think that this Huang has no chance of winning. This is a narrow escape. Indeed, no matter how strong this kid is, he is only at the first heaven of the martial warrior realm. Those underworld organizations have as many experts as the clouds. There are a bunch of third heaven and fourth heaven martial artists. He is dead. If he doesn't surrender and beg for mercy, he will die. Seeing this, everyone discussed spiritedly. They shook their heads and sighed. They felt that this kid Huang would not have a good ending. Even if this guy was slightly rich and had a strong background in his hometown. But in Black Moon City, the so-called background was nothing. No one would care. And these people were all underworld figures. They were outlaws. Who would be afraid of your threats? Interesting. Through the surveillance camera, Gu Peng also saw this scene. A slight smile appeared on his face. Now he is surrounded in all directions. There is no gap at all. Even these underworld forces have a bunch of martial warrior realm experts. This is simply a hopeless situation. I wonder how this kid will get out of this predicament. Chapter 203. Xia Ping decided to stay in the Black Moon Tower for the time being. Naturally, he would not waste his time here. After all, the Black Moon Tower was a tower of trials. There were many training facilities here, and one could also use the martial arts simulation space here to fight with various strong martial arts experts and different kinds of terrifying monsters to gain martial arts experience. It could be said that this was an excellent training base. Therefore, Xia Ping began to train hard in the Black Moon Tower, constantly sharpening his martial arts. However, in this way, the underworld figures who were responsible for monitoring Xia Ping were depressed. A week passed quickly. Damn it, when will this kid leave the Black Moon Tower? An underworld person was very depressed. They had stayed around the Black Moon Tower for a week, constantly watching the Black Moon Tower, afraid that if they did not pay attention, Huang would slip away. They could not be careless for even a moment. Their nerves were tense. It could be said that in this week, all of them had a pair of panda eyes. They were seriously lacking sleep and could not bear it anymore. If not for the fact that they had so many people and could work in 3 shifts, they might have already collapsed from exhaustion. Indeed, it has been a week. Why has there been no movement from this kid? He is actually staying in the Black Moon Tower to train so hard. Is he crazy? Why would he dare to come out? With so many of us in this place, that bastard would be scared to death. That's not right. If he does not come out for the rest of his life, then wouldn't we have to wait here in vain and waste time? Don't worry, it is impossible to stay in the Black Moon Tower for the rest of his life. One night's accommodation costs 30,000 federal coins. Who can stay for the rest of their life? The group of underworld people cursed and cursed. They were so angry that they wanted to kill Xia Ping immediately and snatch away his treasures to completely end this mission. But if he did not come out, there was nothing they could do. The problem is, he previously earned 400 million federal coins. Adding on his own money, this kid can at least stay in the Black Moon Tower for 10 years without any effort. Someone said gloomily, revealing the cruel truth. And what made them even more depressed was that the wealth he revealed was 800 million. Adding on other wealth that he did not reveal, it was probably even more shocking. Although they were very unwilling to admit it, if that kid was willing, he might really be able to live in the Black Moon Tower for the rest of his life. Damn it, so what if you're rich? You think you can squander money like this? You're too unreasonable. Damn it, why didn't they give it to me? Why didn't they help poor people like us? To tell the truth, I hate rich people the most. They spend all day drinking and drinking. 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 Meat. Forests, if there's a chance in my next life, I want to be rich too. Many people of the underworld gnashed their teeth. Although they were very unwilling, the treasures on Xia Ping's body were too attractive. They couldn't just give up like this. They had to continue monitoring him. Another week passed, and Xia Ping was still diligently cultivating in the Black Moon Tower, carrying out his daily life of 3 points and 1 line. Sometimes, in order to find some excitement, he would purposely get close to the edge of the Black Moon Tower, provoking the nerves of these people of the underworld. However, he would not go out, leaving them helpless. After all, these people did not dare to make a move in the Black Moon Tower. All of them only dared to bare their teeth. The death of the snipers from the Blood Hand organization was still vivid in their minds. Shameless Huang, come out. If you have the guts, then come out. If you have the guts, then fight 300 rounds with us. Don't stay in the Black Moon Pagoda like a turtle hiding in its shell. Is there any meaning in teasing people all day long? Is there any meaning? A person of the underworld sighed to the sky. He was so angry that his nose was crooked. After being teased by this bastard all day long, they could not rest well. After all, if they were careless, this brat might slip away. They did not dare to close their eyes at all. This Huang is simply a coward. He's a coward, a coward. He only knows how to hide in the Black Moon Tower and not dare to come out. He doesn't have the guts to fight with us. God damn Huang, he's shameless to the extreme. Sometimes, this bastard doesn't sleep in the middle of the night and actually comes out to tell us to pee. I pee on his face. Do I need him to pee? Who does he think we are? The most shameful thing is this bastard. He likes to take advantage of when we are resting to beat the drums and gongs, and even sing loudly. Oh my God, I have never heard such a terrible song in my life. It's like sawing a bed. He wants to use this kind of small trick to make us nervous. This brat's ability is only so. The more anxious he is, the more he reveals his nature of wanting to leave. I can see that this bastard definitely has something urgent to do and wants to leave. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so anxious and use so many small tricks. That's for sure. Even if he has enough money to stay in the Black Moon Tower for the rest of his life, it doesn't mean that he is really willing to stay there forever. There will be a time when he begs for mercy. Many people of the underworld spoke fiercely. They all planned that once this brat begged for mercy, they would definitely do everything they could to make him beg for death. If they did not do that, how could they repay this bastard's kindness over these past few days? Another week passed. Xia Ping was still cultivating in the Black Moon Tower. Occasionally, he would come out to tease these people of the underworld. However, after 2 or 3 weeks, these people had long since gotten used to it. As expected. He only knows these small tricks. It's not worth mentioning. This is like catching a turtle in a jar. I'm waiting for this guy to beg for mercy. It's said that this bastard consumed the 9 transformations vitality pill. Damn it, he actually consumed such a superior pill. We've suffered heavy losses. Looks like we can only get that King Realm secret manual. What's there to be afraid of? I know a scientific forbidden technique of blood extraction. As long as we capture this brat and drain all the blood and flesh from his body, we can still extract the medicinal strength from it. The medicinal strength will only be slightly reduced. Tisk tsk, I didn't expect you to know this kind of forbidden technique. It's really amazing. If it wasn't because I know this forbidden technique and am wanted by the Federation government, I wouldn't be hiding in a damned place like Black Moon City. A group of people of the underworld were chatting idly. They were already quite used to this surveillance activity. Sometimes, this bastard would come out at night to wake them up to pee. Occasionally, he would sing loudly, but they completely ignored him. All of them plugged their ears and pretended that they didn't hear anything. Time passed in the blink of an eye. Another 2 weeks had passed. Up until now, Xia Ping had already stayed in the Black Moon Tower for 4 or 5 weeks. There was only a little more than a week before the college entrance examination. It's about time. It's time to leave Black Moon City. Chapter 204. Rumble. At this moment, Xia Ping felt the genuine qi in his meridians surging like a raging river. With a bang, the second acupoint was opened. The second heaven of the martial warrior realm. After more than a month of cultivation, coupled with the 9-turn essence enhancing pill, he finally raised his cultivation to the peak, opened the second acupoint, and advanced to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm. I finally advanced. Xia Ping did not waste time in the Black Moon Tower for more than a month. He used the facilities here to make his martial arts cultivation more powerful. He clenched his fists and felt the surging power in his body. It seemed that every inch of his muscles was filled with rich energy. With just a light punch, he could create an explosion of qi. As expected of the second heaven of the martial warrior realm. The amount of genuine qi has doubled. Xia Ping clenched his fists. After opening the second acupoint, he felt that the genuine qi in his body was a lot more majestic. In the martial warrior realm, every time one advanced to the next acupoint, an acupoint would be opened. Each acupoint could contain a large amount of genuine qi, making the martial warrior more powerful. It could be said that the difference between each acupoint of the martial warrior realm was huge. Just the amount of genuine qi was not something that a low-level martial warrior could compare with. Bang! Suddenly, Xia Ping stood firmly and punched into the distance. 20 meters away from this training room, there was a stone sculpture that was half the height of a person. With a bang, the genuine qi surged and the airflow condensed. In an instant, a terrifying power erupted. The stone sculpture immediately exploded, turning into a pile of stone fragments. Originally, when he was at the first heaven of the martial warrior realm, he could kill the enemy from 10 meters away. When he advanced to the second heaven, he could kill the enemy from a distance of 20 meters away with one punch. Fortunately, I have the 9-turn essence enhancing pill. Otherwise, I would not be able to advance to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm so quickly. Xia Ping smiled slightly. Originally, opening the second acupoint required a large amount of genuine qi. One had to know that ordinary martial warriors had to spend several years absorbing the spiritual qi of heaven and earth to strengthen the genuine qi in their body. Only then could they have a hope of opening the second acupoint. However, Xia Ping took the 9-turn essence enhancing pill, which greatly increased the genuine qi in his body, enhanced the potential of his body, saved him several years of cultivation time, and allowed him to break through to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm. This was the effect of the highest grade elixir, which made countless martial warriors salivate. Moreover, this 9 revolutions vitality enhancing pill was even more mystical. It contained an extremely large amount of medicinal power. This medicinal power was hidden in various parts of Xia Ping's body. As he continued to cultivate, it would slowly increase his body's potential. Let's see how powerful the Kuan Peng steps I recently learned is. This month, Xia Ping also spent 20,000 hatred points to learn this king-level secret book. It just so happened that he was lacking a powerful secret footwork technique. The Black Moon Tower's gift this time was like a pie falling from the sky. A terrifying aura surged out from Xia Ping's body. True qi surged, the airflow surged, whistling sounds rang out, his feet, back and other places, impressively a pair of transparent true qi wings appeared. With a bang, the wings made of true qi flapped lightly, immediately producing a terrifying propulsive force, and Xia Ping's entire body instantly disappeared from where he was, reappearing 30 meters away. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. If someone were to stand in this training room, they would definitely be incomparably shocked, because there were actually many afterimages of Xia Ping in the training room. The naked eye simply couldn't keep up with this kind of speed, so it left behind afterimages. Bang! Xia Ping suddenly stopped and appeared in the middle of the training room. At this moment, the shadows around the training room slowly disappeared, and the surging airflow came to a halt. The Kunpeng rises with the wind and soars 90,000 li. Xia Ping's eyes shone brightly. Up until now, he had only cultivated a sliver of the Kunpeng steps. But even so, his speed had increased several times. With just one step, he had crossed dozens of meters. He was so fast that ordinary warriors couldn't keep up with him. This was a movement technique that was created by imitating the ancient divine beast, the rock. It was extremely powerful, and when cultivated to a high level, a single step would allow one to traverse tens of miles. It's really worth it to only spend 20,000 hatred points to learn such a movement technique. Xia Ping couldn't help but sigh. This time, the Black Moon Tower had brought him a big surprise. Not only did it help him break through to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm, but it also allowed him to learn such an exquisite movement technique, which greatly improved his combat effectiveness. It was estimated that even in the face of the fourth heaven of the martial warrior realm, he could fight and even kill him. Half an hour later, the training room was in a mess. There were traces of destruction everywhere. There were holes and gravel everywhere, as if it had been ravaged by a Tyrannosaurus rex. After this period of time, Xia Ping finally grasped his promotion to the second heaven of the martial warrior realm, the soaring speed and strength, and grasped a more powerful combat effectiveness. After more than a month, those underworld forces have probably been numbed by me, and their nerves have relaxed a lot. Now it's time to leave Black Moon City. Xia Ping clenched his fists, and a cold light appeared in his eyes. They trapped me in the Black Moon Tower for so long. If I don't teach them a deep lesson, they won't know how powerful I am. During this period of time, he was not only training hard, but also observing the underworld forces surrounding the Black Moon Tower, observing their weaknesses, and coming up with a plan on how to deal with these underworld forces and so on. In order to obtain information, he even spent hatred points, bought a few invisible pills, and spent a few days to investigate the nearby geographical location, as well as the distribution of these underworld figures' forces, and so on. Xia Ping quickly discovered that the main ones who wanted to deal with him were only the four major gangs, the Blood Hand Organization, the Black Bear Company, the Fierce Tiger Organization, and the Poison Wolf Organization. These four major organizations were the real main forces against him. As for the other small gangs, they were not worth mentioning. Those people were all trying to fish in troubled waters, and they could not form a climate at all. Finally, after more than a month of preparation and planning, he came up with a way to destroy these underworld forces. After today, these underworld figures of Black Moon City would probably clearly remember the disaster they suffered on this day, as well as a person they should not have offended. Blood Hand Organization, Lu Lai. This time, I will definitely not let you off. Xia Ping clearly remembered this Lu Lai's ruthlessness. Previously in the square near the Black Moon Tower, if not for his fast reaction, he would have been killed by the opponent's sniper. If he did not completely eliminate this Lu Lai, he would not be able to eat or sleep in peace. Whoosh! Chapter 205. Late at night, on the top floor of an 8-story building near the Black Moon Tower. At this time, a large number of the elites of the Black Bear Company were gathered on the top floor. They stayed here and commanded the overall situation. If anything happened, they would immediately move out. These elites were responsible for fighting. As for the other martial disciples, the minions of the Black Bear Company, they had a large number of people and were patrolling around the Black Moon Tower, monitoring Xia Ping's every move. They were mainly responsible for passing information. It's been a month, but that kid still hasn't taken a step out of the Black Moon Tower. It seems that he can really endure. An underworld member said. I wonder how long he can hide in the Black Moon Tower. The other elites of the Black Bear Company also nodded. After a month of waiting, no matter how patient they were, they couldn't help but feel a little impatient. After all, it was impossible for them to spend a lot of time and energy in this place. Moreover, the result might not be good. Even if they obtained the 9 Revolutions Essence Nurturing Pill and the King Realm's Secret Manual, they would probably have to compete with other organizations. At that time, there would definitely be casualties. Humph. Manager Diane snorted coldly. Whether it's a month or a year, as long as that kid hasn't taken a step out of the Black Moon Tower, we have to monitor him. We absolutely can't let him escape. That's a King Realm's Secret Manual, a cultivation method that directly points to the essence of martial arts. It's a treasure that can't be bought with money. As long as we can obtain such a precious secret manual, we even have hope of advancing to the martial master realm. Let me ask, other than this opportunity, do we have any other way to obtain a King Realm secret manual? His tone was very heavy. His eyes contained a strong majesty as he stared at the crowd. Even in the Black Bear Company, his strength could be ranked in the top 10. Only the boss of the organization had a cultivation like the Martial Master 9th layer. The others couldn't compare at all. Hearing these words, the surrounding underworld figures couldn't help but nod. It was indeed so. A King Realm secret manual was really too precious. Even in the various tyrannical martial arts organizations, it was a treasure that belonged to the level of a secret treasure. For underworld gangsters like them to think of it, it was simply a dream. Furthermore, if one could advance to the martial master realm, it would be like ascending to the heavens in a single step. They would become a Grand Master level character and their status would be unimaginably high. They would be able to become an expert like the master of many cultivators and have the strength to establish their own sect. If you join any organization, you will become a hot figure in that organization. Even your original crimes may be erased by those organizations. You will become a clean person and be able to openly appear in other cities of Yanhuang Star. It was no longer like before, where he could only stay in Black Moon City like before. This was their life's dream. So, it doesn't matter if he plans to stay in the Black Moon Tower for a year, or even 10 years. Diane sneered, we have to keep a close eye on him. We absolutely cannot let him escape. That's right. That brat thinks that we'll lose our patience after staying here for a month. He's dreaming. That fellow doesn't know how precious King Realm cultivation techniques are at all. In order to obtain such a secret manual, we are willing to pay any price. Waiting for a few months is nothing. If you don't hand over the King Realm cultivation technique, that kid will die. There's no mercy to speak of. And that guy is likely to be the murderer who blew up our Black Bear Company's building before. Just based on this, we absolutely cannot let him go. A group of Black Bear Company elites shouted, each of them exuding a terrible murderous aura. Not bad. Diane was very satisfied with the current morale. If their people were discouraged and allowed that bastard to slip away, then they would have missed a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Supervisor, the takeout is here. Someone shouted. At this time, 5 or 6 people suddenly came in from outside. They were all carrying red high-grade and exquisite lunch boxes. These were all delicious food brought from a 5-star hotel. The Black Bear Company elites all swallowed their saliva and their stomachs growled. They had stayed in this damn place for so long and couldn't move at all. The only fun they had was to eat delicious food. Come, let's eat first. Anyway, that kid must be hiding in the Black Moon Tower today and enjoying a big meal. We can't treat ourselves badly. A bald man called out. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. One by one, the lunch boxes were opened and placed in front of everyone. Immediately, black bear meat, snake stew meat, fire leopard meat, ice tiger meat, and so on were revealed. Each was the highest grade of monster meat. These ingredients not only had the highest degree of deliciousness, but also contained pure energy. It was of great benefit to martial artists' cultivation. Eating a bite was equivalent to saving 4 or 5 days of cultivation time. If it wasn't for carrying out such an important mission to seize the King Realm's secret manual, the Black Bear Company wouldn't be so generous and let these people eat monster meat every day to replenish their energy. "Supervisor, you eat." A bald man walked up and said to Diane flatteringly. As the highest person in charge here, even if it was eating, Diane would eat first. Diane nodded, picked up the most luxurious lunchbox, and obviously also had the most ingredients, and began to eat. Seeing this, the others also began to eat. They had not eaten for a while and were hungry. Half an hour later, everyone had eaten and drunk their fill. Their faces were rosy and oily, very satisfied. "Ah!" Suddenly, a bald man let out a shrill scream. He felt as if his stomach was on fire, as if it was being strangled by knives and swords. It was extremely painful. He fell to the ground and kept rolling. With a puff, he couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. It sprinkled on the ground, but it was black. At the same time, it made a sizzling sound and corroded the ground. "It's poisoned. Someone poisoned the food." An underworld figure shouted, extremely terrified. "Impossible, we've already carefully checked the food. It's impossible for it to be poisoned. How could this happen?" There were also people who didn't believe it at all. Because they were underworld figures, all of them were extremely suspicious. In the face of these food deliveries, they had to go through a series of inspection procedures. Only after there was no problem would they be served to eat. How could there be a problem? Ah. But at this time, the people who had just eaten the food let out shrill screams one by one. They fell to the ground and rolled, their faces distorted. Obviously, they had been poisoned and were in great pain. "Damn it, we've fallen into a trap. We've been poisoned. Inform the headquarters immediately." An underworld figure shouted madly. He took out a communication device and was about to contact the headquarters. Whoosh! At this moment, a black stream of light shot over. With a bang, it penetrated the underworld figure's head. Immediately, it exploded like a watermelon, making a crashing sound. Chapter 206. Damn it, an enemy attack, an enemy attack. Who is it? Who wants to deal with my Black Bear Company? Seeing the man die miserably, with his head blown up, the group of people cried out in fear. They felt a terrifying aura of death pervading the air. Bang bang bang. As time passed, the poison on their bodies began to take effect. Immediately, 5 or 6 warriors with weaker physiques fell to the ground and vomited black blood, dying miserably on the spot. Even the warriors who did not die miserably felt an intense pain in their stomachs, as if they were being strangled by swords, as if they had suffered the cruelest torture in the world. Manager Diane also suffered the same pain. His face was deathly pale, sweat dripped from his forehead, and his whole body trembled. This kind of poison could not be expelled with true qi. Immediately contact the headquarters, tell the boss, let him take revenge for us, take revenge for us. An underworld figure fell to the ground, desperately shouting, letting out a mournful cry before death. Immediately, a few people wanted to take out their communication devices, intending to contact others. Shio shio shio. In an instant, 3 black lights shot out, tearing through the air, containing a terrifying force, in an instant pierced through the throats of the 3 underworld figures. With a few drips, blood flowed on the ground. They all covered their pierced throats, their hands full of blood, their eyes revealing fear, wanting to say something, but their necks were already leaking air, so they could not say anything. With a paw, these people fell to the ground one after another, already dead. Damn sneak attack dog, is it you? Diane was shocked and angry to the extreme. He resisted the intense pain coming from his body, his whole body exploding. He sensed a hidden weapon coming from a place. Bang! He punched out, releasing true chi, a tyrannical force gushing out. A concrete wall on the roof in front of him was immediately smashed into pieces, a large hole appearing, smoke and dust billowing. With a paw, a figure slowly walked out from the pile of rubble, calm and composed, looking around, just like that, at the Black Bear Company people. It's Huang, this kid is Huang. One person immediately recognized the figure that suddenly walked out from the pile of rubble, shouting in fear. Impossible, when did this kid come out from the Black Moon Tower? Haven't our people been watching him? Haven't they been watching him all this time? Another person said in disbelief. It should be known that not only did they have people outside the Black Moon Tower, but they had also sent quite a number of people inside the Black Moon Tower to keep an eye on him. But now, they had not received any information at all. This brat actually left the Black Moon Tower in such a dignified manner and appeared in front of them just like that. This was simply unbelievable. How did this kid get out? What are our intelligence agents doing? Did they go eat shit? Could it be that this bastard poisoned us? Is he trying to kill us? How did he do it? What did he do to our people? How did he get so close to our place without us noticing? Has our defense system become a sieve? Many people from the Black Bear Company couldn't believe their eyes. This kid was clearly a turtle in a jar. Being watched by his own people, he couldn't escape even if he wanted to. He was like a fish on the chopping board, sooner or later he would be slaughtered. But now, they had become fish instead, hunted by this kid. Their positions were completely reversed. Are you really Huang? Supervisor Dian also gritted his teeth, staring at the figure that came out of the wall. Xia Ping stood with his hands behind his back and said indifferently, "That's right, I am Huang. Last time, your Black Bear Company's building was also blown up by me. I also killed quite a number of your people." What? Hearing this, the surrounding elites of the Black Bear Company were all shocked. It was really this kid who did it. Not only did their names are the same, these two people were basically the same person. But they also didn't expect that this kid would dare to directly admit it. It was really too arrogant, too brazen, too unscrupulous. This basically did not put the people of the Black Bear Company in his eyes at all. This kind of tone, this kind of attitude seemed to be telling them that even if they knew that this matter was done by him, so what? Even if the murderer really was him, so what? The Black Bear Company couldn't do anything to him at all. Too arrogant. Dian shouted angrily, looking up to the sky and roaring, "You blew up my Black Bear Company's building, killed my Black Bear Company's people, and still dare to come to my door, dare to admit it, and even dare to poison us. You are arrogant to no end. Today, if I, Dian, don't kill you, from now on, I am not a human." Boom! As soon as the voice fell, Dian was simply like an explosive bear, stomping on the ground, creating a terrifying deep pit in an instant. The surroundings cracked, kacha-kacha sounds, and countless cracks appeared. He blasted out a punch, the air exploded, and there was an explosive bear roar in the void, rumbling, containing a huge force of 100,000 kilograms. Once hit by this punch, even a monster would be torn apart and turned into a mass of meat paste. This kind of power also made the surrounding elites of the Black Bear Company tremble. Too slow. Xia Ping's eyes revealed a trace of cold light, and he took a step forward. Kun Peng step. With a whoosh, his whole body flickered, as if he had disappeared from the ground in an instant. The surrounding warriors could not see Xia Ping's figure, only hear the sound of the air breaking, as if there was a Kun Peng crying. How can he be so fast? Dian punched the air, unable to hit the enemy at all. His pupils shrank, he could not sense the enemy's whereabouts, and when he could react, the kid's figure was behind him. He was incomparably shocked, even with his mental strength sensing, he could not detect the kid's speed. This was really shocking. Could this be the legendary king-level secret skill? Bang! With a punch, Xia Ping attacked mercilessly, bursting out the tyrannical power of the second heaven of the martial warrior realm, firmly hitting Diane's back, like a meteor hitting the ground. Ah! Diane let out a mournful scream, his whole body flew out, his spine was immediately broken, and more than a dozen bones in his body were shattered. Even his lungs were severely injured. With a bang, his body flew more than a dozen meters, and finally smashed on the wall, forcibly smashing out a human-shaped deep pit. Gravel flew in all directions, making kacha-kacha sounds. You! Diane turned around, widened his eyes, and stared at Xia Ping. He seemed to want to struggle, but after struggling for a while, he found that he had no strength. Whether it was the poison or Xia Ping's fatal punch, both took away all his life force. Chapter 207. Devil, you are a devil. Spare me, spare us. If you kill us, you won't have a good end, you definitely won't have a good end. On the top of the building, the elites of the Black Bear Company shouted and shouted, all of them were terrified, but Xia Ping was merciless and attacked. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Stones shot out one by one, piercing the chests of these elites, revealing bloody holes, completely extinguishing the breath of life on their bodies, and none of them survived. After a few breaths, the whole ground was flowing with a lot of blood, and there were corpses everywhere. These people were either killed by Xia Ping with stones or poisoned to death. Spare you? Then who spared me? Xia Ping's eyes were cold. He would never show mercy to these underworld characters. These were all man-eating wolves. If he was caught by these underworld characters, even if he begged for mercy, would these bastards let him go? With his knees, he knew that this was absolutely impossible. In that case, these people wanted his life, and he could only kill them all. I didn't expect this ice crystal jellyfish poison to be so powerful. It's colorless and odorless. If you take it, you can kill a martial artist realm expert in a few breaths. It's just that the price is a little expensive, 5,000 hatred points. In order to deal with this group of Black Bear Company elites, Xia Ping spent 5,000 hatred points to exchange for this terrible poison, and then used the invisibility pill to hide his breath and appearance, and put this poison on the food. After a month of investigation, he naturally knew the eating habits of these Black Bear Company people. After putting the colorless and odorless poison, those underworld characters would never notice. Sure enough, they all fell into the trap and took the food containing the ice crystal jellyfish poison. As a result, most of the Black Bear Company elites were poisoned to death. Even if some strong people relied on their strong vitality and could barely hold on for a period of time, such as Diane, they were also killed by Xia Ping personally. The plan was naturally very smooth, and all the elites of the Black Bear Company were killed by him. Fortunately, I exchanged for this ice crystal jellyfish poison, otherwise it would not be so easy to kill these strong people. Xia Ping clenched his fists. If not for the ice crystal jellyfish poison causing Diane to lose more than half of his strength, causing his strength to be even weaker than a fighter first heaven realm expert, Xia Ping would not have been able to defeat Diane. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for him to kill Diane. After all, Diane was a martial artist at the 6th heaven realm. His genuine chi was extremely dense and his vitality was strong. It's a pity that I don't have enough aggro. Otherwise, I could exchange for a few ice crystal jellyfish poison and assassinate the Blood Hand Organization, Fierce Tiger Organization, and Poisonous Wolf Organization. Xia Ping's eyes flashed. Because learning Kuan Peng's steps cost 20,000 hatred points, coupled with the exchange of invisible pill and other treasures, the hatred points on his body have disappeared by 70 to 80%, and he is unable to exchange for more ice crystal jellyfish poison. But it doesn't matter. With the weapons left by the elites of the Black Bear Company, it's easy to deal a heavy blow to the other three gangs. Xia Ping looked at the various weapons on the ground, laser pistols, sniper rifles, grenades, and so on, especially the miniature nuclear bullets. Once these bombs are detonated, I am afraid that they can blow up the sky in a radius of several miles. Even a martial artist can't survive under such a terrible explosion. It is because the Black Bear Company itself is an arms organization, proficient in selling all kinds of smuggled weapons, and carries a lot of powerful weapons, so Xia Ping will choose to deal with them first. The purpose is to seize the arms on these Black Bear Company. Let's go. Xia Ping moved quickly and immediately collected the bombs left on the ground one by one, leaving nothing behind. Soon he disappeared in place, jumped horizontally and vertically, and ran towards the building in the distance. And because the fighting was too intense, the sound here was also discovered by the members of the Black Bear Company downstairs. One by one, the underworld people rushed up from below and came to the roof. When they saw the blood flowing on the roof, the corpses, and the death of Manager Diane, they were all scared. Something big has happened now. What the hell is going on? These are the elites of the Black Bear Company, and even Manager Diane is here. This is a martial artist at the 6th Heaven Realm. Who can kill them? Who? Who would do such a thing? Could it be that other gangs want to make a move on us? Are those bastards trying to provoke a gang war? Immediately report to the organization boss, this matter is too serious, it is not something we can handle at all. Everyone was discussing, looking at the scene in front of them in shock. So many elites of the Black Bear Company died, this is definitely a heavy blow to the Black Bear Company, a heavy loss. They can't imagine how many earth-shattering waves this matter will set off after it is spread out. And the news of the Black Bear Company's elites being wiped out, as well as Xia Ping's disappearance from the Black Moon Tower, also quickly spread around, to the underworld figures of the Blood Hand Organization, the Fierce Tiger Organization, and the Poisonous Wolf Organization. This kind of news is simply impossible to hide. I heard that the Black Bear Company's elites were all wiped out, and even Manager Diane was killed. I heard about this. Could it be that other gangs have made a move on the Black Bear Company? But which force has such powerful strength, to actually wipe out the Black Bear Company's elites? This kind of thing doesn't matter, my spy reported that the damn Huang has disappeared, and can't be found anywhere. It is very likely that the kid has already escaped the Black Moon Tower. How is that possible? Aren't our people all watching him? Even if he goes to the toilet, how can he disappear? There was no news at all before. That kid just slipped away when he went to the toilet, that bastard pretended to be constipated, went into the toilet, and didn't come out for more than an hour. If not for our people feeling that something is wrong, and forcibly went over to take a look, we would not have discovered that the kid has already sneaked away from the toilet. Damn, not only did we not find him in the toilet, even in the surrounding areas of the Black Moon Tower, there is no trace of that kid, as if he disappeared into thin air. Just how did he do this? Is it possible that the Black Bear Company's elites were all wiped out by this kid? How is that possible? Just based on that kind of rookie, can such a thing be done? Don't joke around. Many of the underworld figures discussed spiritedly, their faces solemn. Even if you beat them to death, they would never have thought that a person they have been watching closely would actually disappear right under their eyes. This is simply the Arabian Nights. The people in charge of the Blood Hand Organization, the Fierce Tiger Organization, and the Poisonous Wolf Organization, the three major gangs, are all very anxious. If they let this kid leave quietly like this, then these past few days will really be for naught, and in the future, who knows how many people will laugh at them, this face they can't afford to lose. Ring ring. Chapter 208. At this time, the elites of the Blood Hand Organization were all in an office building of the Black Moon Tower, in a vast conference room. They stayed in this place to monitor the surroundings of the Black Moon Tower. Once there was any situation, these elites could immediately move out, and their efficiency was extremely high. Bang! When the communication device rang, a figure immediately appeared and projected over. Impressively, it was Xia Ping. It's you. When Lu Lai saw the figure that appeared on his communication device, he immediately jumped in fright, and his face instantly darkened. Even if you beat him to death, he would have never thought that Xia Ping would actually contact him. The other elites of the Blood Hand organization were also very surprised. They originally thought that Huang, who had silently escaped, actually appeared in this place. What exactly was going on? That's right, it's me. Xia Ping indifferently looked at Lu Lai. I believe that you now know that I am no longer in the Black Moon Tower. You surrounded me for more than a month, and even tried to kill me. I have to properly settle this debt with you. Settle it with me? Hearing this, Lu Lai laughed very loudly. You brat, you are crazy. Although I don't know what method you used to escape from my Blood Hand organization's surveillance. But since you have escaped, you should have secretly left like a mouse, and not make a sound. Only then can you live. Now you actually dare to call me, and still want to settle the debt with me? Did you eat garlic or something? You actually dare to speak so arrogantly, you are simply courting death. The other elites of the Blood Hand organization also sneered. This brat was only an expert of the first layer of the warrior. In the face of the elites of their Blood Hand organization, he was simply not even a fart. Escaping with his tail between his legs, being able to survive was already a great fortune. Now, this brat actually dared to brazenly settle the debt with them. This was simply a joke, only a crazy person would dare to sleep talk like this. If this brat really dared to appear in front of them, one move would be enough to kill him. To be able to strangle a genius of the future king realm, all of them felt incomparably excited. After so many years of life, where could they find such an opportunity? Courting death? Xia Ping coldly looked at Lu Lai. I said, if you want to kill me, just your Blood Hand organization is not qualified. If you anger me, you will pay a heavy price. Tonight will be a nightmarish night for your Blood Hand organization. Even you, Lu Lai, will have to die. His voice was so cold that it made people shudder. It was as if a cold air had seeped out from the void, causing the people around him to shiver. What a joke. What can you do with your strength? Lu Lai was extremely disdainful. He felt that this brat was only speaking tough, and was unable to shake his Blood Hand organization at all. After all, his Blood Hand organization was one of the largest underworld organizations in Black Moon City, and its experts were numerous like the clouds and possessed numerous weapons. Moreover, his father was even a 9th-level martial realm expert. This kid, a trash at the first heaven of the martial artist realm, wanted to shake the Blood Hand organization and take his life? If this wasn't a dream, then what was? Young Master Lu, look, there's something outside. A subordinate suddenly shouted. What? When Lu Lai heard this, he immediately looked out of the transparent glass window. He saw a red light streak across the sky in the distance, like a meteor crashing down from the sky. That was a huge black stone the size of a watermelon. At this moment, it flew over like a missile. Its speed reached the sound barrier, emitting a whistling sound that was extremely ear-piercing. Because its speed was too fast, it rubbed against the air, causing its entire body to emit flames. Tiny stone chips fell off from its body and slowly shrunk, finally becoming the size of a glass bead. Dodge quickly. Seeing this situation, Lu Lai felt a strong sense of fatal danger. He shouted with all his might. His eyes were wide open, and his entire body fell to the ground. His movements were extremely fast. The glass outside immediately shattered and the stone flew over. Standing by the window was a middle-aged man at the first heaven of the martial artist realm. He simply did not know what was going on and was completely unable to react. Bang! Immediately, an explosion sounded in the air and instantly pierced through his head. With a paw, his head exploded like a watermelon. Blood splattered and a mass of brain matter burst out. However, the power of the stone did not stop and continued to bombard the people behind him. Bang bang! The two elites of the Blood Hand organization behind them were also caught off guard. They happened to be standing in the same row and were successively pierced by the black bead-sized stone. A huge bloody hole appeared in their chests. The two corpses flew out with a powerful inertia. With a bang, they fiercely hit the cement wall behind them, immediately smashing a human-shaped deep hole. Countless cracks immediately appeared on the wall. Kacha-kacha sounds could be heard. The stone directly penetrated the wall and flew for who knows how far before finally embedding itself into the wall of another building. With a pa-cha sound, a few cracks also appeared on the wall of the opposite building. This. The elites of the Blood Hand organization in the conference room were all dumbstruck. They looked at this scene in disbelief. It was just a stone, but it instantly killed 3 elites of the Blood Hand organization. They did not even have the power to resist. Looking at one of their companions whose head exploded and 2 whose hearts were pierced, blood dripping on the ground, they could not help but feel a chill from the soles of their feet. This Huang was too terrifying. Huang, you are courting death. Do you know that you are courting death? Seeing 3 of his elite subordinates die and himself in an incomparably sorry state, Lu Lai could not help but shout angrily. He was unable to restrain his anger. One could imagine how angry he was right now. This brat was clearly his prey, like a fish on the chopping board, waiting to be slaughtered at will. But now, he actually killed his subordinates, and he became the prey instead. How could he accept such an outcome? Don't worry, this is just a greeting. This night is very long, let's take it slow. I said, this will be a night that you will remember vividly. With a pa sound, Xia Ping immediately hung up the phone. A greeting, what a greeting, too arrogant. With a bang, Lu Lai smashed the communication device in his hand. He was so angry that smoke was coming out of his head. As the young master of the Blood Hand organization, when had he ever suffered such humiliation? His subordinates were clearly killed in front of him, but he could do nothing about it. Young Master Lu, we found it. One of the subordinates immediately shouted, by tracking that brat's signal, we found that bastard is now on the top floor of a building 5 kilometers away. He is currently monitoring us. 5 kilometers away. Hearing this, everyone present was shocked. In other words, the kid had killed 3 of their elites from a distance of 5 kilometers. What kind of terrifying martial arts strength was this? Chapter 209. What's there to be afraid of? Seeing his subordinates' frightened expressions, Lu Lai glared at them and immediately shouted, no matter how strong he is just a trash of the first heaven of the martial practitioner realm, and he is alone. We have dozens of elites of the second heaven of the martial practitioner realm, more than 10 of the third heaven, and even a few experts of the 5th and 6th heaven. Do you think we are afraid of a trash like him? Hearing this, the elites of the Blood Hand organization also came back to their senses. Just now, they were frightened by this kid's actions and almost forgot that they had the advantage in numbers. Moreover, the other party was just a rookie of the first heaven of the martial practitioner realm. No matter how strong he was, it was impossible for him to challenge a 5th heaven, or even a 6th heaven expert. The gap between the two sides was like a chasm. In fact, if it was not to prevent other gangs from attacking their headquarters, the boss of the Blood Hand organization and most of the elites stayed in the headquarters, Lu Lai would only bring a small number of elites out. Perhaps a mouthful of water from each person would be enough to kill that arrogant kid. But even if it was a small number of elites, killing that Huang would not be a problem. Immediately inform the Vicious Wolves organization and the Fierce Tiger organization of this matter. Lu Lai said coldly, killing people of my Blood Hand organization, that kid still wants to escape, how can there be such a simple thing in this world? Offending my Blood Hand organization, the entire Black Moon City is his enemy. Want to escape is fine, but leave your life behind. His murderous aura made people shudder. The other elites of the Blood Hand organization immediately understood that it was very difficult for their organization to find a person in the entire Black Moon City. But with the help of the Fierce Tiger organization and the Vicious Wolves organization, it was different. The entire Black Moon City probably had the eyes of the 3 major gangs, that kid absolutely had no way to escape. If not for the Black Bear organization just being wiped out and suffering heavy losses, they would probably still be suspicious, guessing which force did it and would not easily move out. Otherwise, they would also bring the forces of the Black Bear organization, so that it would be even more foolproof. Yes, young Master Lu. A group of subordinates shouted, full of killing intent, making people shiver. What? That kid Huang really escaped from the Black Moon Tower? Not only did he escape, he actually dared to clamor in public. He killed 3 elites of the Blood Hand organization, and even wanted to teach our Black Moon City's underworld a painful lesson. Teach my ass. That rookie wants to teach us a lesson. Does he really think he can teach people a lesson just because he's the federal president and a martial Dao grandmaster? He's too arrogant. A dog's hit like him dares to shout at our Black Moon City? Who does he think he is? I'm filled with rage right now. It's one thing if he ran away. If he left with his tail between his legs, we wouldn't be able to do anything to him. But he still dared to jump out and cause trouble here. Our entire Black Moon City will not tolerate him. Cut the crap. Immediately send out the elites to capture that bastard and tear him to pieces. If we don't kill that Huang, then that's the same as slapping the faces of our Black Moon City's great powers. What face do we have left? Yes, kill him. There's no need to be polite. We're all fugitives, what's there to be afraid of? The Fierce Tiger organization and the Poisonous Wolves organization also heard the news. All of them were so angry that their lungs were about to explode. It was one thing for this kid to run away, but he actually dared to clamor and say that he wanted to teach them a lesson. Hearing this, even Buddha would be somewhat angry. Not to mention that they were underworld figures. Each of them had a fiery temper. How could they tolerate this? Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The elites of the underworld organizations moved out one after another. All the forces in Black Moon City were mobilized, using all kinds of methods to search for Huang's whereabouts. If they found this kid, they would kill him without mercy. It could be said that the entire Black Moon City was in an uproar, shouting to kill. With such a big commotion, the other people of Black Moon City also heard the news. All of them were amazed. Amazing. This Huang endured for more than a month and still managed to escape. How did he do it? Didn't they say that the 4 major underworld organizations laid out an inescapable net that not even a fly could escape? How did he manage to escape? That's why I say this Huang is amazing. To actually be able to do such a thing, it's simply unimaginable. Until now, no one knows how he escaped. If that's all, it's fine. But after this Huang escaped, he actually began to stir up trouble, taking revenge on those underworld organizations. Among them, 3 elites of the martial warrior realm of the Blood Hand organization were killed by him from 5 kilometers away. Their heads were blown off, and they were killed in front of the crown prince, Lu Lai. Amazing. As expected of the amazing person who passed the nightmare level trial. Not to mention other things, just this courage alone is not something that other martial artists can compare with. This kind of action also angered the underworld forces of the entire Black Moon City. Everyone is shouting to kill that kid, saying that if they find this kid, they will immediately kill him without mercy. Now the entire Black Moon City is in an uproar. The train station, the airport, the bus terminal, and other places have all been set up by them. They will definitely not allow that kid to escape. Just to deal with a young man in the first heaven of the martial warrior realm, they actually made such a big fuss. He isn't an ordinary young man, he's a genius that passed through the nightmare grade trials, a monstrous genius. If such a king realm expert is allowed to escape, then how terrifying would he be in the future? They'll have to face the attacks of a king realm expert. Who would be able to face such a terrifying rage? So, if this kid doesn't die, then they will. Everyone was talking about it. They were all shocked by this scene. They had never seen such a thing. The entire city was the enemy of a young man. This was simply unimaginable. But they also understood the madness of these underworld organizations. It was really that this enemy was too great a threat and had to be eliminated. This. After knowing this news, Gu Peng, who was in the airport, was also very speechless. Even if he was looking forward to how Xia Ping could escape the encirclement of those underworld forces, he did not expect that such a big thing would happen. If it was an ordinary martial artist, it would be a great fortune for them to be able to escape. But this brat was not convinced and actually wanted to take revenge. He had killed 3 elites in front of them. This was a blood feud that no one could tolerate. It was originally a small matter, but because of this bastard's trouble, it definitely became a big matter that would not end until one party died. This bastard is born to be a troublemaker. His ability to cause trouble is first class. Gu Peng was speechless, the corner of his mouth twitching. Things had already reached this point. If this kid really encountered danger, he might have to personally help. After all, this was a good seedling. Even if he slightly broke the rules, it was not a big deal. Chapter 210. Black Moon City, a warehouse. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. More than a dozen elites from the Fierce Tiger organization entered the warehouse in a single file. All of them were aggressive and looked around vigilantly, as if they were looking for a target. I heard that someone saw Huang hiding in this warehouse. Why can't I see him? We'll know after searching this warehouse. If we can catch Huang, boss will reward us handsomely. 18 Qi deposition pills. How great would that be? Oh my god, if we can get 18 Qi deposition pills, we'll save years of cultivation time. We might even be able to break through to the first heaven and become stronger. We'll be rich this time. But this guy passed the nightmare trial. His strength is definitely not fake. We'd better be careful. If we fail, we'll be in big trouble. What's there to be afraid of? No matter how strong this kid is, he's only at the first heaven of the martial realm. We're all at the second heaven of the martial realm, or even the third heaven. Why would we be afraid of a kid? That's right. A dozen of us against him. One punch from each of us is enough to turn this kid into minced meat. What I'm afraid of is that he won't show up. Once he does, he'll be dead. It'll be as easy as stepping on an ant. Indeed. We're not afraid of this kid's strength. We're afraid that he'll sneak away and leave Black Moon City. That way, we won't be able to find him. The dozen elites of the Fierce Tiger organization discussed. All of them were arrogant and did not take Xia Ping seriously. They felt that the kid was a rookie who could be easily crushed. Even if they knew that the other party was a monster who passed the nightmare trial, no matter how strong he was only at the first heaven of the martial realm. It was impossible for him to defeat so many of them. Oh, as easy as stepping on an ant? At this moment, a figure walked out of the darkness. It was Xia Ping. He appeared directly in front of the elites of the Fierce Tiger organization. He looked at them and said, "You don't have much ability, but you talk big. Come, let me see what you're capable of." He stood with his hands behind his back like a master. What? Seeing Xia Ping suddenly appear, the elites of the Fierce Tiger organization were not shocked. Instead, they were all pleasantly surprised. They finally found this damn kid. They finally had hope of completing their mission. See my ass. Hearing this, one of the Fierce Tiger elites was so angry that his nose became crooked. He couldn't stand this bastard's arrogant attitude. You want to see what we're capable of? You're just a trash in the first heaven of the martial artist realm. You're pretending to be an expert in the Grandmaster realm, yet you still want to give pointers to the world. You're not qualified at all, do you know that? Big brother, don't waste words with him. Kill him immediately and smash his head. A middle-aged man in a red singlet sneered. His muscles were bulging and his arms were tattooed with a tiger. He was a third heaven of the martial artist realm. Boom. As soon as he finished speaking, he pounced forward like a ferocious tiger. His body was surrounded by terrifying true qi, and he let out a frightening tiger roar, which caused the ground to crack. Once hit by him, even a rock weighing several tons would be smashed into smithereens. These underworld figures were all vicious and merciless. They didn't even have time to exchange pleasantries with this kid. They immediately took action and broke this guy's limbs so that he couldn't move at all. After that, they would have a good talk. Get lost. Xia Ping's eyes revealed a trace of coldness. He held the hammer with both hands and a huge amount of true qi gushed out of his body. It was as if a violent bear was born. 2 huge holes immediately appeared under his feet, making cracking sounds. The first style of the myriad beast's fist, violent ape hammer. He held the hammer with both hands and took a step forward. His true qi condensed into a ball and smashed it forward. It was as if an ancient Mount Tai had descended, suppressing the world and tearing everything apart. Bang! Immediately, the true qi giant hammer smashed down from the sky like a meteor, erupting with terrifying power. This power bombarded the middle-aged man's body just like that. Ah! The middle-aged man didn't expect a small expert in the first heaven of the martial artist realm to be so terrifying. He couldn't dodge in time and was smashed by the true qi giant hammer. Rumble with just one blow, the middle-aged man was smashed and smashed hard on the ground. A huge human-shaped pit appeared, as if he had been smashed by a huge rock weighing hundreds of millions of tons. With a few cracking sounds, the bones in his body were immediately shattered. He coughed up blood and his neck tilted. He immediately died. Bastard, you actually dared to kill Li Hu. You're courting death. There's no need to be polite with him. Let's join forces and kill this bastard. Yes, let's go together and kill him. Seeing their companion die, the group of fierce tiger organization elites were all dumbfounded. They were so angry that their lungs were about to explode. They didn't expect this kid to be so cruel and kill one of them in one move. They couldn't suppress the anger in their hearts at all. More than a dozen of them rushed forward. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. These fierce tiger organization elites were all experts in the martial artist realm. The strongest one was in the 3rd heaven of the martial artist realm. They were extremely fierce and even more terrifying than a tiger. An ordinary expert in the 1st heaven of the martial artist realm couldn't withstand a single blow from these experts. They would be torn into pieces with one move. They didn't think that this kid could withstand their joint attack. Seeing the actions of these people, Xia Ping was unmoved. He stood on the ground and opened his mouth. The second style of the myriad beast's fist, lion's roar. Boom! At this moment, a violent sound wave gushed out from Xia Ping's body. In the void, it was as if there were hundreds of tigers roaring, shocking the forest and shaking the earth. When this roar came out, the vital energy condensed and the sound wave surged. Immediately, a circle of terrifying sound waves that could be seen with the naked eye appeared in the air. With Xia Ping as the center, it spread in all directions. Bang! 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 This sound wave attack was extremely terrifying. It penetrated into the lungs. The dozen or so fierce tiger organization elites who attacked in front were immediately attacked by this sound wave before they could even take a step forward. Ah ah ah! These people immediately let out a shrill scream. They couldn't help but cover their ears with their hands, but it was useless. Blood immediately seeped out of their ears, mouth, nostrils, and eyes. Their lungs were severely injured, as if they had been bombarded by hundreds of punches. Their hearts suddenly stopped. The glass surrounding the warehouse immediately shattered with a crashing sound. Even the ground was destroyed by the sound waves, and cracks appeared on it. The entire warehouse seemed to have been blown into 2 halves at that moment. The walls were shattered, and the warehouse's pillars were on the verge of collapse. With a few bangs, these fierce tiger organization elites were all killed. One by one, they fell to the ground. Their eyeballs were shattered and blood flowed all over the ground. They died extremely miserably. Chapter 211. This is the first batch. Xia Ping looked at the dead elites of the fierce tiger organization without any expression on his face. Since these people wanted to kill him, they had to be prepared to be killed. Although he could not deal with experts above the fifth heaven of the martial artist realm with his current strength, it was easy for him to deal with these experts at the fourth heaven of the martial artist realm. Moreover, the range of his mental strength was extremely wide. After advancing to the second heaven of the martial artist realm, the range of his mental strength was within a radius of 300 to 400 meters. It was estimated that only the experts of the sixth heaven of the martial artist realm could compare with it. With the detection of his mental strength, he could fight and escape whenever he wanted. He was not afraid at all. Well, there are enemies coming. Let's retreat first. Xia Ping's eyes flashed. He sensed that there seemed to be enemies rushing over from afar. Their aura was very strong. His figure flashed. With a swoosh, he stepped outside and used the Kunpeng steps. In a few breaths, he left the warehouse. He was so fast that the enemies could not catch up with him. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Not long after Xia Ping left, dozens of elites of the fierce tiger organization immediately came and surrounded the warehouse. The leader was an expert at the sixth heaven of the martial artist realm. He was a middle-aged man in a black suit. He was also the leader of this operation. How is this possible? Li Hu and the others are all dead. Not a single one is left. After receiving the message from these guys, we rushed over quickly. How could we not make it in time? It has only been a few minutes and all the elites of the fierce tiger organization have been killed. How can this kid be so powerful? Isn't he an expert at the first heaven of the martial artist realm? He must have broken through. I remember that he obtained a 9-turn vitality enhancing elixir. It is extremely precious. Coupled with this kid's amazing talent, it is not difficult for him to break through to the second heaven of the martial artist realm in a month. Shameless. He pretended to be a rookie at the first heaven of the martial artist realm. I didn't expect him to play dumb here. He wanted to plot against us and he really succeeded. So many of our brothers died at once. Even our fierce tiger organization can't bear such a loss. He must die. That kid must die. Even if I don't get the King Realm's secret manual, I will kill him. Many of the elites of the feral tiger organization shouted angrily. They were furious, especially when they saw their comrades being killed by the other party. All of them died with their eyes open, which made them even more furious. The fierce tiger organization had always been domineering in Black Moon City. They were the only ones who killed people. When had anyone ever killed them? This was the first time so many of their elites had died like this. Damn it! With a bang, the middle-aged man in the black suit suddenly attacked. He slammed his palm on the ground, instantly creating a huge crater. Gravel flew in all directions, and countless cracks appeared. Damn Huang, I won't let you off, definitely won't let you off. The middle-aged man in the black suit roared into the sky. Even if you flee to the ends of the earth, even if you have a powerful background, I will always hunt you down and take your head. Sacrifice to our fallen brothers. I am going to tear that Huang's corpse into 10,000 pieces. He released a world-shaking roar. Tears flowed from his eyes. He was furious to the extreme. It was because among these ferocious tiger elites, one of them was his blood brother, as well as a good friend. Now that they were killed by Huang, how could he accept this? Go immediately. The middle-aged man in the black suit shouted angrily, issue my order, have all the people of the ferocious tiger organization move out and search the entire city. Even children, old men, and women move together. Once you see that Huang, kill without mercy. Activate the human wave tactic, I want him to die without a burial place. Yes. Many ferocious tiger elites shouted angrily. They all moved out. This Huang's actions could be considered to have completely angered them. This was a hatred that would not end until one side was dead. Because of the ferocious tiger organization's anger, Black Moon City also boiled up again, even more chaotic than before. In a gathering place of the Venomous Wolf organization, this was the top floor of a building. 20 to 30 Venomous Wolf organization elites gathered here. They were currently analyzing the information they had obtained, deducing where Xiaoping was. There is news that Huang once appeared in the northwest of Black Moon City and fought with the ferocious tiger organization. In the end, he killed more than 10 of the opponent's martial warrior realm experts, and the ferocious tiger organization suffered heavy losses. It seems that this kid was also hunting the elites of the Blood Hand organization. More than 20 martial warrior realm experts of the first and second martial warrior realm were all killed by him. This time, the Blood Hand organization also suffered a great loss. How ruthless. It is said that this guy may have taken the 9-turn vitality enhancing pill and advanced to the second martial warrior realm. In addition to his talent, it is estimated that his combat strength is comparable to the third martial warrior realm. In other words, the fourth martial warrior realm and below will only be a dead end if they encounter him. Too arrogant. In the face of the 3 major gangs, not only did he not escape, but he actually planned to hunt down our people. Does he want to die? Does he know what he is doing? I have never seen such an arrogant person. He is simply too arrogant. He is only in the second martial warrior realm and he thinks that he can do whatever he wants in Black Moon City. Boss warned us before that we must be careful of that kid's sneak attack. What are you afraid of? He has offended the Blood Hand organization and the ferocious tiger organization. Would he dare to offend our Venomous Wolf organization? Even if he is stupid, there should be a limit. That's right. I don't think that bastard would dare to do anything to our Venomous Wolf organization. Who doesn't know that our Venomous Wolf organization is ruthless and will seek revenge for the smallest grievance? He will definitely not dare to do anything to our people. The elites of the Venomous Wolf organization were all talking about it. They were proud and arrogant. They thought that no matter how stupid that kid was, he would know how terrible it was to offend the 3 major gangs in Black Moon City. Swoosh! Suddenly, a cold light shot out in the dark night. With a bang, a stone instantly penetrated the head of the elite of the Venomous Wolf organization who was just talking. With a bang, his forehead was instantly penetrated. His eyes were wide open, and there was a trace of disbelief and shock in the depths of his pupils. It seemed that he could not believe that he had died just like that. He was just saying that the kid would not dare to do anything to their Venomous Wolf organization. No matter how stupid he was, there should be a limit. But before he could speak, he died. Dozens of meters away, on the roof of a building, a figure appeared. It was Xiaoping. Huang. Seeing the death of their companion and seeing Xiaoping appear in front of them, the group of elites of the Venomous Wolf organization all roared, and smoke began to come out of their noses. You are seeking your own death. How dare you kill the people of our Venomous Wolf organization? Do you know how big a crime this is? Do you know how big a mistake this is? You will definitely pay a heavy price for this mistake, for this crime. Chapter 212. Sin. Although they were dozens of meters away, their voices were still very fresh. Hearing those words, Xiaoping suddenly laughed, very loudly. It's not a sin for you to chase me, but it's a sin for me to kill you. Go to hell and talk to the King of Hell. If I'm really guilty, you can come back and capture me. Capture my ass. The people of the poisonous wolves were all half dead with anger. If they really went to hell, how could they come back up? Would they become ghosts and come back to take their lives? What a joke. Let's go and kill this guy. We have the advantage in numbers. What are we afraid of? Kill this guy. Don't let him be arrogant here. How dare he offend the poisonous wolves? This guy is simply courting death. Let's fulfill his wish. The elites of the poisonous wolves shouted. Although they were dozens of meters away, for them, it was a very short distance. They could easily reach the roof where Xiaoping was. Swoosh! 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 They jumped over one by one. Their feet produced a terrifying force, and the ground cracked. They tried to surround Xiaoping and beat him to death. How stupid! I dare to come here to deal with you. Do you think I don't have some skills? I can kill you as easily as killing a chicken. Xiaoping's eyes were cold, and he looked at the elites of the poisonous wolves jumping over. The third style of the 7 arrows art, Rain of Flowers. With a bang, Xiaoping flipped his hand and threw out dozens of stones. The stones were wrapped in tyrannical true qi and fell from the sky like rain, covering a radius of hundreds of meters. Each stone was like a raindrop, falling from the sky at an extremely fast speed, faster than a sniper bullet. They tore through the air and made a sharp sound in the air. Bang, bang, bang. In an instant, the stones immediately hit the elites of the poisonous wolves who had jumped over from afar. They immediately pierced through their chests, creating huge bloody holes. Ah! The elites of the poisonous wolves let out miserable screams. They had never thought that the stones would be so terrifying. They contained a terrifying true qi, which was specialized in breaking the true qi of the poisonous wolves. One by one, the elites lost their strength in the air and fell from the sky like dumplings. With a bang, their bodies hit the ground and immediately became meat paste. How can he be so strong? The remaining elites of the poisonous wolves organization were so scared that they pissed their pants. In just one move, more than half of their experts had been killed by this brat. It was as if he was slaughtering pigs and dogs. This kind of method was too terrifying. Run! If we don't run, we'll die. This kid is too strong. Those who are not above the 5th heaven of the martial artist realm are no match for him. Several people from the poisonous wolves shouted and called their companions to run away. This kid's strength was too terrifying. Even if they stayed where they were no match for him at all. If they didn't run away, they would die. Trying to escape. Is it that simple? Xiaoping sneered. He was already prepared for this situation. His left hand instantly smashed out a black stone the size of a watermelon. With a bang, the rock shattered in midair and split into dozens of pieces. Each piece of broken rock was wrapped in tyrannical true qi and shot forward like a missile. In just an instant, the elites of Poison Wolf who were on the top floor were pierced by the rubble before they could even take a step forward. Blood dripped down from their bodies. With a bang, the corpses fell to the ground one by one, splashing dust on the ground. Their eyes were wide open and they died with grievances. The elites of Poison Wolf all died. The plan is almost carried out. Xiaoping saw these elites of Poison Wolf all died in front of him. He touched his chin and a trace of coldness appeared in his eyes. After this, I guess the Poison Wolf organization will definitely be furious and lose their minds. At that time, I'll kill all these gangsters. This was not enough. He had to make these gangsters feel the heart-wrenching pain before they would stop. Otherwise, he would not be able to take it lying down. By the way, leave some marks here, otherwise these people will not know who killed them. Thinking of this, Xiaoping immediately used a sharp stone and carved a few big words on the ground, Killer, Huang. After doing all this, Xiaoping's figure flashed and disappeared in an instant. He ran into the distance. After Xiaoping left for a while, the reinforcements of Poison Wolf finally arrived at this place. When they saw the ground smashed into meat paste, the corpses on the top of the building, and the big words left on the ground, they all went crazy with anger. What a good killer, Huang. He is too arrogant. Not only did he not run away after killing the people of Poison Wolf, he even dared to leave his name. This is the first time I've seen such an arrogant killer. This is the first time. He provoked the Fierce Tiger Organization, provoked the Blood Hand Organization, and now he dares to provoke our Poison Wolf Organization. This Huang must want to die. He must want to die. If we don't kill this Huang, where will the dignity of our Poison Wolf Organization go? Can our dead brothers rest in peace? This bastard and I are absolutely irreconcilable. Either he dies, or we die. All the members of Poison Wolf Organization were stunned. They had never seen such an arrogant killer. He provoked the other two gangsters, and now he even offended them. He even dared to leave his name on the ground. This was clearly a provocation. If they didn't take revenge, what face would the Poison Wolf Organization have? In the future, would people still look up to them? Contact the Fierce Tiger Organization and the Blood Hand Organization immediately. This time, we have to join hands and kill this Huang. Otherwise, our underworld organizations won't be able to eat and sleep in peace. A big boss immediately shouted angrily. He felt unprecedented anger. If it was just to get the boy's treasure before, they wanted to kill him and rob him, but now they wanted to kill that bastard. It was pure hatred, irreconcilable hatred. Yes, boss. Everyone shouted angrily. They had never been so united, but in order to kill this Huang, they began to unite. Their wills were like steel, and they couldn't be shaken at all. The news spread like wildfire. Half an hour later, the Fierce Tiger Organization and the Blood Hand Organization heard the news. They all sent people to contact the Poison Wolf Organization, planning to compromise and cooperate. In order to kill this boy, they planned to join hands. Otherwise, if they continued like this, even if they could really kill this Huang, the three major organizations would suffer heavy losses. Who knew how many elites of the martial artist realm would die? Even the three major underworld organizations of Black Moon City couldn't bear such losses.